Yo, so we're back again with my good friend Mold, and today we're going to be rating all of the Gen 3 Pokemon, because we already did Gen 1 and 2 before, and real quickly, I want to just have a recap with everything. So, how would you rate, like, as of now, Gen 1 and 2 right now?
So I'd say Gen 1, like, you mean like out of 10?
Like, just like, as a
Because
whole.
out of 10, as a whole, yeah. Um, I think Gen 1 is a fantastic generation. Maybe the best one, not sure.
Gen 1er.
Gen 2, well, hey now, we're going over Gen 3, which is my favorite, so
Fair, fair,
But
fair.
yeah, Gen 2, it's also pretty good. It's got a lot of iffier Pokemon though, compared to Gen 1. But overall, I
Yeah.
think they're both pretty good.
I feel like with Gen 1, they're more like Gen 1 is very like how would I say it? They're all in a good way, like how would I actually say like they're more I know the word, but it's just not in my head right now. Like they're all well made, like they're all consistent. There we go. It's consistently pretty decent. Well, I think Johto has some better Pokemon overall, but worse Pokemon overall too, if that makes sense.
Right. They have like better Pokemon than Gen 1, but
hmm
like some better, some worse, kind of like
So
that.
like I put the Gen 1 like starters at the first as like the best so far. And for the starters, for the full set, I think Gen 2, in my personal opinion, is like the second best starter set of all time. I think these are all very solid starters. You have the Trico line, which
Yeah,
is
they are.
Trico, like I love Trico. Trico's super cool. Like Sceptile is my personal favorite out of them all. And personally
Hmm.
speaking, Gen 3 Emerald is my most replayed Pokemon game, mainly because it's just so easy to get back into. Like, I know all the routes and everything, blah, 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 where to go, everything pretty much. So it's like, why not just play whenever I'm bored or like I want to replay a Pokemon game, right? And the funny thing is that even though Sceptile is my favorite, I don't usually choose Sceptile, mainly because it only knows grass type moves, and that's like it. But yeah, going off of like just design wise of it, I think Sceptile is really, really well made. I really like their whole line. Like I know like some people actually like Grovyle more, and Grovyle probably is probably one of the best like middle stages of any Pokemon design. Like I think they're all really, really cool. And my personal favorite after Bulbasaur out of all the ones we went through. What's your opinion on them?
Um, I'm not sure. My favorite, my favorite Pokemon we've over so far. Well, it was my favorite. It was Dragonite.
Oh, I meant
Um,
like
but
starters
I
wise,
Oh,
starter wise.
starter wise.
Yeah,
I think Squirtle. Squirtle's my second
right,
favorite starter, and my favorite starter is coming up. So
right, right.
I'm
Mudkip.
excited. Okay.
But
Right.
how would you rate like
Hercules.
Sceptile and their whole line?
Oh, Sceptile's line.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
frick. I think it might be nine. It's got to be 9 out of 10. I think. Yeah. I think all of the starters for Gen
Mhm.
3 are like 9 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I think it's my personal like second favorite starter line, just because I think they're all really well made. My only gripes with Sceptile is like it doesn't have a second typing like all the other ones. Like it just feels out of place.
That
If that
is unfortunate for him. Doesn't it gain a dragon type though? Mega evolved.
Yeah, it does
Not that we're
evolve
like
into a
going over
dragon,
Mega.
but I still think that's like a downside to their whole trio. I don't like that it
Yeah.
doesn't have at least one typing added.
For
I
sure.
could honestly see maybe Sceptile being kind of like a flying type just because of how fast it is and like kind of like how like acrobatics type thing. I could see it being a flying type, and that would be really cool. But like flying types kind of suck too because like you don't really have any attacks to use. But I still think they should have had something, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's my only gripes of Sceptile. I think Sceptile is really cool, but, like, that's the only complaint I have. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Moving on to
honestly, only complaint.
your only complaint is the same thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I think
rating
it's really cool,
raise.
though. I really like Sceptile. Moving
It is.
on
It's
to Torchic, the Torchic line. You wanna start us off, or should we wait until your favorite star comes?
yeah, I'll do Torchic.
Alright.
Torchic starts as an adorable little guy. Almost 10 out of 10 right out the gate. Combuskin, I have a single issue with, which I will
Stop.
keep to
Stop.
myself. And then Blaziken is freaking awesome. I love Blaziken.
They're all just really solid designs. Like, I don't know. Like, I think Torchic is just cute. Like, it's like it's just a little chick. Like, I like Torchic how it is. Like, we actually there was actually some beta designs of Torchic though. Torchic, and I think they were like trying to make like beta Torchic like have gender like differences with like this. Like, the the girl was supposed to have like an egg and like the man was supposed to have like a regular body. I don't really know if that's actually true, but I think that's what I heard. Can you
Okay.
see the design for it?
I do not currently see it. I only see the sprites. Oh wait.
Okay.
Yeah, I see only the sprites gallery.
Okay. Pretty much imagine like Torchic with like fluffy ears in a way.
Okay.
And that's what it is. I think it just looks so like this current Torchic is so much better than how it looks. Trico actually had a beta design actually. Let me actually show you this because Trico actually has like huge different like design. Let me grab this and let me show it to you. This is what it is. I sent it. I personally like the design of it. I feel like Trico just looks more finished though. I like the
I
patterns on
have
the
seen
belly.
this one before, and I think I do like this one better than regular Trico, to be
I th
honest.
I kind of
I
like it
do like.
a little bit more too, but I think it's not as finished if that makes sense. I feel like if they
Yeah,
worked
I
it out a
feel it
little bit more, it would have been much better in my opinion.
for sure. Yeah.
But yeah. Combuskin, uh honestly, I don't really care about Combuskin. This is kind of like the middle stage where it's like I just want to switch into the new one because like I don't know, I just feel like Combuskin
Huh.
isn't really that cool. Like I feel like a lot of people will like Pokemon just because like they really like the line. It doesn't really work that way to me for the most part.
Yeah.
Cause like I I don't know, I just feel like Combuskin is just kinda like it's just there. Like I don't really know what to think about it.
It is
And then
kind of there.
Blaziken,
Um.
super cool. Super
Oh
cool.
yeah.
Like everyone knows like Blaziken's like just amazing looking. Fire fighting is super cool. I think it's not really Blaziken's fault that we had like a bunch of fighting fire types as starters, but I
Yeah, I
think
was gonna say he started the fateful firefighting.
yeah,
But yeah,
I think Ember was just kind of like the last straw for it, you know?
yeah, for
But yeah,
sure.
I think Blaziken is just super cool. I really like Blaziken. There was actually a time where I felt like Blaziken was my favorite out of them. Now it's my least favorite just because I like Swampert and Sceptile a lot more now. And now finally we move on to your favorite little guy. You can go with him.
Like, yeah, so I heard you like Mudkip.
I do like
Mudkip is the
Mudkips.
cutest little goodest little boy ever. Oh my goodness, I love Mudkip. He's just such a squishable little mud puppy. He's adorable. I love him. 10 out of 10. March Stomp, on the other hand, I feel the same as Combuskin. He's kind of just there.
Fair.
What do you think?
Okay, so Mudkip, when So this is the thing whenever I get Mudkips in any game, whenever I get a Mudkip, I always nickname it Wooper just because I love Wooper and I love Mudkip. Don't get me wrong, I really love Mudkip. I just think it's really funny whenever I get a Mudkip and just name it Wooper. It just brings me joy just to name it Wooper. It's just really funny to me. And honestly,
It
Mudkip,
is very funny. Thank
it's a really, really solid design. I think the colors like the yellow or the orange and the blue, it's really solid. I kind of wish that they made like give it a little bit more orange somewhere else. Like maybe like give it like a little orange spine. Like that's something I think would be really cool because I think blue and orange is a really really good color combination that isn't used too much. Because blue and orange works really really well together. I really like Mudkip. I think Mudkip is really cute. And honestly, I love that they're water ground. Ground is like one of my new like favorite typings. Like I really like the ground typing whenever I play a game, I have to use a ground type. Like it's just that good. And for it being water and ground is one of the best typings in the game too. And I really, really like water and ground. I usually always like every single water and ground typing just because I like the typing combination. And then for Marshtomp, and it's just kind of there. Like it's just derpy. Like it's the same thing with Combuskin. Like it's just there. Like Grovyle is super cool. Like Grovyle is like peak for that type of thing. But
I
with
think Grovyle might be the best middle stage starter.
honestly, yeah, I could see that.
Low key.
I would have to
Yeah,
like I would have to look through all of them to say if it's my favorite, but probably it's high up there. If not the best, maybe like second best, if not the best. But
right.
Marshtomp is just there. Like it's just there.
Yeah.
And then Swampert. What do you want to say about him?
What a beast. It's such an epic design, and it's plus like you said, it's watered ground. It's got more orange accents, which it's funny that you brought that up because that's kind of like color theory. Orange and blue are pretty close to opposites, so
Yeah,
they
yeah.
kind of naturally complement each other. It looks
You,
fantastic. Plus
yeah,
the dark
usually you
blue
want to
mixed in
have a
there, maybe.
sorry, you can go.
Yeah, no, I was just saying like the blue, the orange, and the
Yeah.
navy blue is just
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, because usually with characters, like with designs, you usually want to use like colors that are opposite to each other, like blue and like uh orange. Uh you know, like the color wheel, like they always have like the colors, like they're always stuff on the opposite side, and it just works really,
Yeah,
really well. And
yeah, they're
part
complementary. Great.
I think that's partly why Swampert looks so cool. It's just because of the one like really cool like colors. Like I think whenever you have blue and orange, it's pretty much always going to look really, really nice. And then with it being like a mud skipper in a way, like I think everyone talks about like how Mudkip is supposed to be an axolotl. I honestly don't really see it other than like the little like cheek pouches. Other than that, I
Mm-hmm.
honestly just think it's more of a mud skipper in a way, and I kind of like it how it looks. I could still see it being like having some axolotl uh elements to it, but I think it's more of a mud skipper personally. But I really like it. I think it looks really really cool. Like it's just a strong Pokemon. Swampert is the Pokemon I always like as a go-to Pokemon for Emerald, just because it's just so good. I honestly think like out of like all of the starters like for its own region, Swampert might be like the very best Pokemon to choose out of any other starter for its region. Like it's just that good. You have water, ground, and you get Ice Beam for coverage. That's all you need. Like it's so good just for that. And you only have to worry about grass typings too. What a beast! Like what an absolute beast. I love him.
What a fun. Yeah.
And then Poochyena, eh, honestly, one of my least favorite of the early game Pokemon. Like it's just not anything special. Oh wait, actually, real quickly, we have to. I forgot we have to
Mm-hmm.
rate. We have to rate the Gen 3 starters compared to everything else. So as of now, I would put it on the very top. So it would be Gen 3 starters, Gen 1, Gen 2, and I would give it a 9 out of 10. My only big complaint with it is Sceptile not having some kind of typing.
Yeah. Personally, I do agree with you in that order. I believe that it would be like starter wise, it would be Gen 3, Gen 1, Gen 2. Um, and 10 out of 10 for me, to be honest.
Fair, fair. Like, I can respect that. I think the only thing that's really holding it back for me is that Sceptile doesn't have a typing, and that's
Yeah,
pretty
it's a
much
huge
it.
drop.
Because they're all really
Yeah.
cool. And then now we can go to Pucciano. As I was saying, it's honestly just one of my least favorite out of like all of the like early game Pokemon. Like I never used a Poochyena because I don't care about it. Like I just don't really like it too much. Like yes, it's like a dog and it's supposed to like intimidating and everything, but honestly, I don't really care for it. Like I just don't. Like it's just a random like dark type that doesn't have anything really going for it. Like there's nothing special about it except for its base stat tool being 420. Nice. But other than that, I don't really care for it. It's just It's not really that cool looking to me either.
Yeah, it's pretty uninteresting. I don't know, he's a little cute, but there's really nothing special about him to me.
But going on
And
from
Mighty,
was that?
yeah, continue. Sorry.
No, you can go. You
No,
can
then
go.
continue.
All right. Moving
No,
on
I
from
was
Mighty. Moving on from Mighty and Pucciana. I want to switch into Zigzagoon, which is honestly so cool. I love Zigzagoon. Like, I always pick up a Zigzagoon, like a full team of Zigzagoons, whenever I don't have a full team, just for pickup. Like, I love the ability to pick up. Like, if you have a Pokemon with pickup, I will always, like, fill my whole team with pickup Pokemon, because they just give you free items. Like, you can get something like Rare Candy or Hidden Power, and it's just a fun mechanic. And personally, not only that, but I think Linoon is really, really fun to use in battles because of the belly drum extreme speed shenanigans it can do. It's just really fun to use. And personally, even though like Linoon has a really, really simple design, I always liked it. Like it's just really cool. Like I just like how Linoon looks. I like Railgun Linoon a lot more than like the Galarian Linoon to me. I just like how it looks.
Man,
It looks very clean and sleek. Like it looks really fast too.
he does. Yeah. I always thought I always liked him because he kind of looks like the less cuddly version of Furret.
Oh, honestly, I can see that. It kind of looks like that. I can respect that. And if I would have to like put Linoon in like Route 1 rodents, I would put like Rattata over like uh Zigzagoon, but I think I like Linoon more than Raticate.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like
respectable.
I think like Rattata is just like super iconic and it's just a clean design. Well, Zigzagoon I
Yeah,
think looks really good and it's really fun to use Zigzagoon just for the pickup ability. Other than that, I just think Rattata's like cooler looking to me.
Rattata. It's just yeah.
Oh, also I think we should probably like start like ranking like a Pokemon from a scale of 1 to 10 individually. Like either like with like lines we can just like 10 out of 10 and everything. Like if we have specific individual Pokemon like we want to talk about outside like in a line we
Uh,
can just talk about. So Sceptile I would give 10 out of 10. And then Torchic, I would give it 9, and then Blaziken 9, and Capustin like 7, and then Mudkip 10, and then Marshtomp like 7, and then Swampert 10. And then with Mightyena, I would give it like 6, and then Linoon 8.
yeah. I I think I pretty much completely agree with you on all
Fair
that.
enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
So yeah. Moving on, Wormhole. Honestly,
Horrible.
here's the thing. I think it's a cool idea that they have like Wurmple evolving into two separate different guys. But the thing is, it's totally random, and I think that random element is super, super annoying. Like, I think there is like a specific thing to indicate which one it'll turn into. Like usually, like Pokemon. Like, let me see. Like Pokemon Emerald, uh, stats. Let me see. Like usually, like where would it be? Like it would say like their type of nature, or not nature, but like a personality, which is completely random, and it's just not fun for that reason. Like if you want to use a Dustox, you have to like catch a bunch of Weedle or not Weedles, Wurmples, and just guess which one you get as a Dustox, and that's a little bit annoying. Not that they're any good. Like you don't want to use a Wurmple unless you're like really trying to. I
Right.
think the idea of it like being a the same line, because like usually, like if you notice, like a lot of like early generations, they had two separate like Route One bug Pokemon, which they only really stopped after like Gen 5. And I think like Burmy and Wormadam and Mothman did a better job with the linking like both bug evolutions. I think Wurmple itself, it's just like a worm. Like I think Weedle works better as a worm, you know?
Yeah. So I like Wormple because I think he's a cute bug type. But I do agree. I don't actually, honestly, I don't really like its evolutions. I kind of like Dustox. I like
Mhm.
Dustox's design,
I like the
and
Duck's
I think it's
design
funny.
too.
What's up?
I like the design of Ducks too. And this is a random thing, but I think Dusknox kind of grew on me a little bit because I was playing the mystery dungeon, and I was like in a sky temple with like Rayquaza where he would be, and Dustox carried my team because he could heal, and he healed my guys, and that was awesome. But other than that, eh,
Hey, yeah, I gotta love the healer. Yeah,
yeah.
but I do think it's funny because it is definitely like 100% frustrating to catch like a bunch of wormholes trying to get the one you want. And
Yeah.
I didn't watch much of it, but in like one of the newer Pokemon animes,
Hmm.
um, what was his name? It was like the Go kid. I think his name was
Oh
Go or
yeah, go.
something. He catches like three wormholes and all of them evolve into beauty flies. And I
Oh
was
yeah,
like,
yeah,
I
yeah.
feel that.
I remember that like I was trying to do like a Pokemon Emerald like bug only challenge, and I was trying to get like a dust no a Beautifly, but I couldn't get it because I kept getting dust talks, so I would have to go get Silcoon specifically, and it's annoying when
Right.
you catch like them because they only know Harden. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's just something annoying to me.
That's, that's giving me flashbacks to the one time I tried to play Pokemon Yellow
Oh
and I
no.
ended up catching a Metapod. That
Yeah,
was fun. That was funny.
it's something. It also doesn't help that like the bug types aren't good. Like early red bug Pokemon aren't good at all, except for like Butterfree. Like at the very start, like they're doing better where they're trying to make it them much better. But yeah, uh, out of the bug
Yeah, it
Pokemon,
does.
honestly, I would put them above Ladian. But after that, they're both kind of eh. So like I would put Aridos at the top and Beedrill at the top, and then Butterfree, and then them, and then Ladian personally.
Yeah.
And then for uh Dust Talks, I would give it a 7 out of 10. Uh Cascoon and Silcoon like just fives because like I don't really care for them. They're just like they're just round cocoons. Like there's not much you can really do to make a cocoon Pokemon cool to me. And then Wurmple can have like 6 out of 10, I guess, and then Beautifly is a 6 out of 10 too, because like they're fine Pokemon.
Mhm.
What's your thoughts?
Honestly, the only cool cocoon Pokemon in my opinion is probably I think it's got to be what's his name? Kakuna.
Kakuna is awesome. I love Kakuna.
Yeah. He's cool looking.
Yeah. And then moving on from Dust Talks in the Wormhole line, we're going to go to Lotad. Love Lotad and Lumbrain and Ludicolo. They're so salt, like
Oh
their
yeah.
designs are so cool, and I love the water grass typing. They're just such cool Pokemon. I really, really like them actually. Like I just like how they all look and they feel. Like they're just fun Pokemon, and Lotad is cute. Like I like their whole designs. Like Lotad so
Same.
is just cute and like solid. Like he's just a little guy, and the Lumber's kind of like creepy and like just like he's just there, like right. He's just like I don't know how to like explain it, except he's just kind of creepy looking, and I like it. And it's such a cool idea because like they're supposed to be like kappas, and like if you know like mythology, like kappas are like they like drown people and everything, blah blah blah. And then you turn from this creepy guy into this really festive, jolly like Ludicolo dancing kappa Pokemon. And I really like Ludicolo because he's just all super really like really fun. And Ludicolo isn't a Pokemon I get to use too much. But I think Ludicolo is fun, and I want to use it more. I just like Ludicolo. I think Ludicolo is an awesome like pineapple. Like he's just cool.
Yeah. I always loved the water grass typing, and I didn't know that they were based off kappas, but that's very interesting to me. And I agree with the thing about Lombre. I always thought that Lombre was kind of weird, and I don't really like him. I don't really like any of his like aspects individually,
Hmm.
except I just like him in general because I think he was like I don't think he was my first. I think it was like my second shiny that I ever
Fair.
got. Yeah.
Like I just like it because Lumbre was supposed to be like a creepy Kappa Pokemon, and then they turned into this really like jolly little guy, and I just think it's fun. Like
Oh yeah.
Ludicolo is just like a really fun Pokemon to me. I would give Ludicolo like
Ludicolo are
I would give their whole line probably like a 8 out of 5. Or like I mean 8.5 out of 10.
yeah. Um I would love to just have a Ludicolo hanging around. He just does his little dance all day and is happy.
I also just liked Brock's Ludicolo in like the anime. Like he was just jolly. Like I just like Ludicolo. He's so cool.
He is cool.
And then Seedot and Shiftry is kind of the same thing with Ludicolo. I just kind of like them. Like they're just really cool looking. Now, granted, like they're really really bad and you don't really want to use them ever, but I just think they're cool. Like I just like the design of Shiftry. It's also like another like
Yeah.
yokai. So like I think it's like I forget what it's called, but it's the one with like the long noses.
Yeah. It's like some tree yokai.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know what you're talking about. I always liked them because they kind of look like a like as if kind
Hmm.
of like a common ancestor almost.
Oh
Kind
yeah.
of one lived in the forest and turned into Seedot, Nuzleaf, and Shiftry, while the other one went to like a swamp and became Lotad, Lumbre, and Ludicolo.
Yeah, I think they're really like solid Pokemon. Like I really like them as the grass types. And like I think they're my favorite out of all the like uh early game grass Pokemon as of now. I would honestly give
That's fair.
like I would put them on the top of the grass Pokemon.
Yeah,
Um
they're good.
Going on from them, it's Talo and Swellow. They're just really solid. Like again, I think they're probably going to be the best like out of all the ones we were looking at. I I want to kind of like put Fear above because I kind of like really really like Fearow, but personally like design wise and like how fun they are, I think Swellow and Taylor is just fun. Like I think like I have more of a nostalgia for Fearow, but like Taylor overall looks really good. And their colorations, the blue and the like the nice like not navy blue, but like darkerish blue. It's not necessarily navy, but like and the red and the white
Yeah.
just they just look really really solid. And then Boomburst, Swallow is just so fun to use. I really like how these guys look. They look very solid, and like Swallow looks really fast actually. Swallow's like the fastest of all of the birds, I believe. Yeah, with
Yeah.
one 25. It's really solid. I really like Swallow.
Yeah, personally, I mean, I love Talo and Swallow, for several reasons. Firstly, I do like the design. I like their little angular red
Tail?
shapes and it well not quite the tail, but like the way
Okay.
they have that little like
Angle to
triangle
it.
on their chest and then their tail, they just look so sleek, so fast. The blue is a really nice blue because it's both dark but it's also saturated. It's
Right.
more saturated than like navy blue, so it looks very cool. It looks kind of like powerful.
Right.
And also swallowtails are like one of my favorite birds. I just love them so
Mhm.
much. They're so cool. They look so cool when they're flying. One time I was like walking home from my friend's house early in the morning after like a
Mhm.
sleepover, and I was walking through a field and there was mist on the ground, and I saw swallowtails flying around real close to the ground, and they were leaving
That's so
like
cool actually.
trails of mist behind them. And I was like, damn, this
That's
is what it must be like to live
yo
in like
wait,
the world of Pokemon.
dude, you should make a Miss Swallow before sometime. That would be a really cool Pokemon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be.
I also want to bring this up real quickly with Swallow. I think it kind
Mhm.
of looks kind of like superhero like. Like if you look at like if you look at the like the face and like how it is, like you have the like little like stripe in the vest real quickly, like you here, let me
Yeah,
put this. Like you see like in the chest, like how like there's like a little thing where it's kind of like a cape in a way, and then you kind of have the mask, and like you know how like Superman or like Iron Man has like something like some kind of like patch on their like chest. That kind of what it looks like
yeah,
in a
yeah,
way too. Like I
yeah. That's
didn't,
a good point.
yeah, I didn't really notice that until like now, and it looks really cool because of that too.
Yeah, for sure. I love these Pokemon.
Yeah, I would put Swallow as an 8 out of 10 too. Maybe even like a 7.5. I don't know. Like I like
Yeah,
Swallow.
I think it's great.
I think it's a really good design. But like I just don't know. It's like I like it, but it's not like I love the guy, you know?
Yeah,
And then
yeah, I feel that. Hmm.
and then we're moving on from Swallow to Paliburg and Wingull. Do you want to take this?
Um, ugh, I don't know. They've never been like too special to me. I've never really liked Pelipper, but I do kind of like Wingull. I like his design. He kind of looks goofy, but like
In a good way?
it's just a little bit. It's a bit of an interesting design.
Here's the thing to me. I think Wingull's fine. I think it looks solid. Like I think it's like a good like the coloration's fine. Like I think it's a good mix between all of them. It's a little bland for me personally. And then Pelleberg, I don't really like Pelleberg. I don't know. Like I don't understand. I don't really know. Maybe it's like the beak. Like I know it's a pelican. But like I don't. I never really liked Pelleberg. I just don't really like it. Like it just it looks goofy, but like not in a good way to me, if that makes sense. I don't know. Like I just never really loved Pelleberg to me. It's just like
I
eh.
feel like
It's just been
yeah.
eh to me
No,
like all the time.
I feel like I have the same issue with Pelipper. It kind of just does look a little too goofy for me. What with like the giant beak taking up so much of his body.
Right.
Um, yeah,
It's also sad because pelicans are super cool. Like they're pretty evil birds too. But like I don't know, I think like the beak just taking everything just kind of like ruins it for me. Like I don't like the shape of Pelleberg, if that makes sense. I don't know. I don't like the
yeah,
wings. I just don't really like Pillberg that much. So like I would put Wingull as like a good like solid like maybe like 6.5, and then like a 4 for Pelipper. And just to make this let this know real quickly, like 10 out of 10 is like my absolute favorites. 9 are like really, really, really good Pokemon. I really love them. 8 are really good Pokemon. 7 are Pokemon I like. Uh 6 are like they're pretty good. 5 is just like they're just like there. And then everything below is just like 4 is bad or I don't like it. 8 3 is like they're not good. And then 2 is like they're really bad, and then 1's like horrible. Because I know like with a lot of people, like for some reason they'll think like 7 is a bad is like or 5 is bad when realistically 5 is just like average. Like it's just in the middle.
Yeah, it is average.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah.
Going
I feel the same way. I would probably put Pelipper as a 4.
yeah, I don't really like Pillberg that much. Going on from to Ralts and Curly and Vertibor. Honestly, I just don't care for them. Like I never really cared for these specific free. I always liked Glade, but all of these guys I never really cared for at all. Like I know a lot of people really like them. I'm more personally like more of an Alakazam fan. I like the green and white. Like I think the colorations are really really nice, and their shinies are really good. Like the blue shinies are all really good. I think Mega Gardevoir is really fun to use with like Pixelated Hyper Beam. But overall, I never really been a huge fan, and the internet ruined Gardevoir, so like that's another thing. So yeah, I just never
Yeah,
really liked them.
internet that ruined.
I just never really cared for them too much. So I would honestly put them like at a 5. I don't think they're bad designed. They're just not for me, you know?
Hmm. Um, Personally, I like Ralt. Curly is
Wait, wait, wait,
okay.
wait, 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 wait,
Gardevoir
wait,
is.
wait. Pot, pot.
Hmm.
Depending on what you say,
Yeah.
you're gonna be very sus. So you choose your words
Yeah.
wisely.
I know. I'm I realize that. Yeah. Ralt, I like. Gosh darn it. Okay. You know what? I hate the entire line. No, but what I actually really like the line just purely because of the shiny. Like the
Oh, that's
shinies are
fair.
just fantastic.
I think they have some of the
With
best shinies.
the blue hair, and I think the fins are then orange.
Are they? Like
Plus once they got, I think so. I'm not
I want to
entirely
see.
sure, but I'm sorted. I
I
think so.
want to see this real
Uh,
quickly. Oh yeah, they're orange. They're orange. They're
yeah.
orange. Yeah, yeah.
Plus the fact that they made it a fairy type makes me more likely to use it because I do enjoy using fairy types
Yeah,
in
yeah,
my
yeah.
playthroughs.
Because like they haven't always been around, so they don't feel like they feel kind of like more special than most other types. I feel.
Yeah.
So yeah. So what would you give this line then? Pot.
Um. Overall, I'd give it. I'd give it a 6. I'd give the
Okay.
shinies like a 7.5 though.
Fair,
7.5.
fair, fair. Yeah, I think the shinies like make them look better. I still like the white and the green. I think that it's a really nice like coloration that you don't see very often.
Hmm.
Going on from Gardevoir to Surskit and Masquerain. I personally like Masquerain. Like, it's not the one I like really, really love, but I just kind of like it. I just kind of like it. I think it's a cool design idea. Like having like like how all the time like moths have like that sort of thing of like where they have like fake eyes under wings. Like you can see with
Yeah.
Masquerain, you have it has the eyes, and then they give it the ability to intimidate just for that one thing alone. I kind of wish that
Yeah.
they kept the water bug though. I don't like that they turn it to uh, a bug flying. I think it would have been more cool and more distinct if they made it bug water because we have so many bug flying types. Like a lot of them are bug flying types, and I think it would have been cooler if it was water bug. But
Honestly,
yeah, I
yeah.
think overall it's pretty solid. I think Surskit is like I actually don't know how I feel about Surskit because sometimes it's like, oh, Surskit is kind of cool, and then other times like, yeah, I don't care about Surskit. So sometimes it's just flip flops between where I like it or not.
Yeah. I feel that. I do like Surskit sort of. It's like it's decent. It's not bad. I like Masquerain a lot because I mean mostly because of the reason you just said, for the
Mm.
intimidate factor and the way that moths kind of, you know, have
Use
fake eyes.
yeah. I also
Um,
like the
I
colorations
do
though.
agree it should have gotten like yeah, I think it should have gotten like water instead of flying or like
Yeah.
psychic maybe.
Oh, Psychic would have maybe even Dark even.
Maybe yeah, actually dark would be
Yeah,
pretty good.
Dark would make more sense because of the intimidation thing. I just wish it wasn't a flying
Yeah.
type. I just wish it wasn't a flying type. Like that's the one thing that I don't like. I do kind of like how like
Mm,
Masquerain actually was been used a lot in competitive Pokemon recently, just because it was one of the better like sticky webbers. But yeah, okay. So I would put Masquerain at a 6 and Surskit at 6. What about you?
I'd put Surskit as a 6. I'd put Masquerain as a 7, I think.
Okay. Okay. I'm so excited to talk about these two, Shroomish and Breloom. I love these guys. They're so cool. I love these guys. Like Breloom is just a
Yeah,
super cute, like, and really cool, like, kangaroo mushroom. And I just think it's so cool. I love Breloom. Like, I kind of wish I got Mega because like it's just that cool, and I think it kind of deserves it. Crash and Fighting
for
always
real,
been
yeah.
pretty cool. I think it's one of the fastest spore Pokemon, and that's really cool too. And it's actually hits really hard too. And I just love Breloom. I always love the Breloom. Breloom's just so cool, and I love the shiny of Breloom. Oh my gosh, did you see the Did you see the shiny of Breloom?
Let me look at it because
Yeah,
I'm not sure what it
let me get for you.
is.
I
Oh, isn't
always
it like silver or something?
No, it's Autumn. I always loved like grass type with Autumn shinies or any kind of Autumn.
Hell yeah.
I
Oh, I
loved
love that.
I loved the shiny. The shiny's so good. I always loved uh any kind of like autumn Pokemon. So I really like how
Autumn
Breloom
is
looks.
yeah, autumn's my favorite season. Just it's just like I love it so much. And
Yeah.
so I'm a sucker for autumn colors.
Also like
I love
autumn
Shroomish
colors is
because
also
he's
just really beautiful. I think it's really pretty with autumn colors.
they
But
are.
yeah.
Orange is like my second favorite color, so I think it's just beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Also
fair
I
to
love
say.
Shroomish because he looks like such a little grumpy little
Oh yeah.
gumdrop man. And if you look at his face sideways, it looks
He's
like
smiling.
greater than colon
Or
pipe.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It
I
looks like yeah, it looks like a text message, like angry face.
Yeah, you look like he's just
And
smirking upside
Breloom is
down.
just
Honestly,
yeah.
honestly, Sherman's just kind of like the more like cutesy Goomba in a way. Let's be real. Like it's just a Goomba.
He is,
He's just
dude.
a Goomba,
I
but I love it.
someone needs to make a Super Mario mod where all the Goombas are replaced with Shroomish. Eh,
Shroomish is awesome. I love Shroomish too. I will say,
that would be great.
I think I like Breloom a lot more than Shroomish though. Is there any like times
Oh,
when
for
he's
sure.
happy though? I
Oh,
just want to see a
Shroomish.
happy Shroomish. Oh, there he is.
Oh, I just want to see a happy Shroomish. I just want
There
to
he
see
is.
Shroomish happy.
Who doesn't
Yeah,
know? Like, look at this guy. He's just chill. He's cool.
he is chill. Look at him.
I would put Stroomish at an 8.5 and then Breloom either at a 9 or 9.5. Like
Hmm.
Breloom is one of those really popular Pokemon for a good reason. Like it's just really well designed. Like I feel like there's some Pokemon that are just overhyped. Well, Breloom is like a popular Pokemon, but it's not overly popular.
Yeah, he's like a cute little like he almost looks like a mix between like a mushroom and a dinosaur,
And a
and
Kangaroo.
he's like yeah, and a kangaroo. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, gotta love
Oh,
him.
another thing about uh uh Breloom that I love is like his arms, they stretch out. That's another really cool thing.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, when he punches, he, like, shoots his arm out like he's, like, freaking Luffy.
Yeah,
It's
it's so
great.
cool. I love it. He's just so cool. Like I
Yeah.
love this little guy. And then going
Mhm.
on for to Slack offline. Like here's the thing. I really liked it. I think it's super cool that they gave and they were trying to make like a really broken Pokemon, like a Pokemon with really, really good stats, and try to balance it off of like a really bad ability. Because this is the first time they were trying with abilities, right? So it makes sense.
Yeah.
And I like the idea of what they were trying to do, where like Slacking is supposed to be like this nuke of a Pokemon that will always destroy anything it hits. Like anything it touches will die instantly, but you can only use it once per like turn. And that's pretty cool to me.
Yeah, it's every other turn, right?
Yeah, like you hit but the thing is another thing is like it's just so easy to exploit. Like Norman's gym is one of the easiest one to do because you can just either do protect or you can just use dig and you can just outdo it. So it's just kind of funny to me.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that they kind of did Slacking a little dirty, even though he is like like you said, he's an absolute atomic bomb.
Yeah.
um, I feel like they done like he can attack twice and then like he's slacks or and then he's like slacking off once or something. Um, but at the same time, I don't really know competitive very well, and I would
I mean, not
have no
even for
idea how that.
competitive, not even for competitive, just like in general. Like you wouldn't want to use the slacking in like a playthrough because it just gets boring if you or tiring if you have to wait every single turn to like attack once, then switch out, or like attack again, and then wait again and switch out and attack again, and gets kind of boring to use. Like slacking is one of those
Yeah,
Pokemon that I never used ever.
yeah, same.
I think it's a cool design and like I like how it looks. I think Vigoroth is probably in general like a little bit better, probably just because it can do something. But yeah,
Right. I like the idea that he
it's a
goes
nuke.
from like a lazy guy to like a really energetic and then back to lazy.
Yeah.
I do like that.
I think it's cool. I think it's just a cool one. I personally would give the slacking line like a 7.
Yeah, I'd also give it like about a 7.
Right. And then going on from like slacking to some of the coolest Pokemon in all of Hoenn, uh, Nincada, Ninjask, and Shedinja. I think these are some of the coolest Pokemon out of all of Hoenn. One of my top favorites about Hoenn. I really, really like them. They're all super, super cool. Like all of their designs are so solid to me. Like Nincada, it's just like the colorations is so solid. Like it looks basic, but it works in a really good way. Like it's very simple, but in a good way. And then it turns because it turns into two really, really cool, really well designed Pokemon. To Ninjask, one with a really, really cool design. I really like how it looks. The yellow and the silver and the black and the red. It just looks so cool. Like it's genuinely really cool. It's the fastest non-legendary Pokemon in the game, which is another thing that makes it so cool. Again, I wish it wasn't a flying bug. Like that's one of the things that I wish they didn't do it, but hey, at least it makes a little bit more sense than Masquerain to get it. And then another
It
thing about
does, yeah.
Ninjask is that it got ground bug, which I like the idea. I wish that more bug Pokemon got the ground typing, because it's a cool typing design for me. And then we have Shedinja, which probably has one of the coolest gimmicks of all time, being a Wonder Guard, where you have 1 HP, but it's immune to anything that's not super effective. And Shedinja just looks cool. Like it has really like dull like colors, like the colorations look very dull, but it makes sense for it because it's just the shedded skin of of
Yeah.
Nin Nincada, and how it evolves is so cool. You have to have empty spot and a Pokeball for Shedinja. I think it's such a cool design, and I like how all of them work, and they're all so cool. Like every single line of them, all of them look so cool. I really like these guys. They're so cool. And probably one of the most used Hoenn Pokemon I use. They're just really solid. I love them all.
Yeah. For me, I I think Ninkata is really cool. I think he's kind of cute in his own little buggy way.
Uh-huh.
I think Ninjask is epic, and I love the fact that he is so fast. I think I think that's awesome. And Shedinja especially. I like he's just like a husk. I again like you said, the dull colors. It looks just super sick. It looks like as if like Halo were a video or were a Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Halo the video game were a Pokemon. Like with like the wings in that like kind of like sharp jagged,
The
not
King
quite
way.
sharp but shape. Yeah.
Like the wings kind of look like
I really like
wait, can I find like a back spray of Shedinja? Ninja
yeah.
wait,
I also like
Shedinja
the fact that
back
you can see the hole where
rays.
Ninkata crawled out of on his back.
Like here, let me send it to you real quickly again. Cause like you see like no, not good word. Like you can see like it kind of looks decayed in a way. Like the wings look decayed. Like you can see like it ripped out of it. Like uh this isn't Nikita's skin that Ninja grew out of, right? What the heck?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so scared. But yeah, uh, I was on Google and I was looking at the like Shedinja's back and wherever, and there's like a Shedinja furry, and it's like ew, what the heck?
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, how does that even Oh my
I don't even
gosh.
know. But it's just so cool to me, like you can actually like see like where it like ripped out of the back. It's just so cool to me. Like the dull colors. Usually you don't want to use dull colors because it makes the person looks bad, but like ew. But like it works really well because it is a dead husk. So
Yeah, it
honestly,
is.
for me, the Nincada line is a 10 out of 10. I love these guys.
Yeah, I'd give them a 9 out of 10, 9.5 maybe.
Fair.
Even. Yeah.
I just
Honestly,
really like
I
these
love
guys.
they're probably they're like I don't know if they're my favorite bug types. I'd have to go through all the bug types, but dang, they're
I
like
personally think that like the bug types
Game
have
Freak
some of
nail.
the best designed Pokemon of all time.
Oh yeah. They have some of the
Okay.
coolest ideas
Yeah.
also, for sure.
Moving on from these awesome bugs to the Loudred line. Honestly, I think Loudred's
Huh.
really fun to use in battle, but overall, I don't know, I think Loudred looks really cool. And then, or I mean, Expel looks really cool. Loudred's solid, and then Whismur's like pretty cute. They're not like there's not
Yeah.
anything really like, special about them though, you know?
There isn't anything special about them except for I feel like the progression in the evolution is really well done. I like the way because you can even see like the shape of Loudred's mouth in Whisper. It's
Hmm.
just like small. It's very small. Um, I really like it. I also love the fact that they're well. I like how Loudred is he's a speaker.
Yeah, he's a speaker. I was gonna
Uh,
mention that earlier, but like, yeah, I love that too.
I loved like maybe my favorite like representation of Loudred was Detective Pikachu. It
I don't
was
think
the Detective Pikachu.
I never seen that before. I would have to look that up later, but I really like it
Really?
too. I never played the
Yeah, no,
I
no.
I never played the
No, no,
Detective Pikachu.
not the game. I mean the movie.
Oh, the movie.
The
Okay.
live action. Yeah.
I
Like
don't really
the
remember them. I don't really remember the movie that much, I'm gonna be honest. But I think didn't they like
Yeah,
have Loudred's been speaker for like the battle area?
yeah. Well, it wasn't particularly the way he looked I liked, but it was the
The way he
underground
used
Pokemon
Pokemon
battles.
battles? Yeah.
Yeah. Uh when the fight when like chaos really started to kick up, um all the Loudrids dropped the beat and started
Yeah, I
beatboxing, and
love that. It was awesome.
it was pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And then moving on from Loudred, I would give their whole line like I would give it a 7 because I think they are really cool and they're really solid. But overall, like I think the coloration's pretty cool, but like overall, there's not anything too special about them.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Okay. I don't really care for Makuhita. Like it's just a punching bag. Like it's just a punching bag, like a punching doll, and it's like eh. But I do like
Mm,
Hariyama. I think Hariyama's cool. Like Makuhita, I just don't really care for it too much. I never really like Makuhita too much. Hariyama though, like
yeah.
Hariyama, big Chungus, like he's a big Chungus boy. I like Hariyama. He's just pretty cool,
Yeah.
and that's like all I have to say
He,
about it, really.
he's a good representation of a sumo wrestler.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like it,
Yeah.
but
To be honest, I didn't realize Makuhita was a punching bag. And for that, he gets a point kicked up, but he's still about
mhm.
at like 4.
I would give it a 5 just because I don't really think too much about it, and Hariyama is a 6.
Yeah.
As
I'd say yeah.
yeah, Azumarill is just pointless. I just think Azumarill was a pointless Pokemon. There was no point of giving Marill an evolution, a pre-evolution,
Yeah.
especially because a Marill actually evolved at level like 18. And you have to evolve the friendship too. So like you're likely going to get a Azumarill longer if you have a Azumarill than if you were just to have a Marill.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's just goofy to me. So yeah, uh,
Also, they didn't
3 out of 10.
really like do anything with Azrael's design. They kind of just made him sitting on his tail. Like
Yeah,
that's all he does. He bounces around his tail.
it was just unneeded. Like I don't think like Marill actually did too much with his tail either. It's like I don't know. It just feels pointless. Like they didn't really need it to be a thing. Like here's the
Yeah.
thing. Meryl already had like bad stats and everything, right? So there was like no point of having this guy other than it just being bad and just a waste of time. But yeah,
Yeah.
Nose Pass. The thing about that I like about Nose Pass is that in Legends Arceus they will always face north, and that's a really cool aspect that they have because they are
Really?
compasses. Yeah, they do. They always
That's
face
awesome. Yeah,
north.
I did know they were compasses. That's cool though. I didn't realize they did that in Legends Arceus.
Yeah, Legends Arceus is a
Arceus.
really cool game. Like they just have so many interactions that you wouldn't think they would have. I'm just going to scroll. Okay, I was just seeing how many more that we had. Okay, so yeah, I think that's a fun thing about Nosepass, but honestly, I still don't really care for Nosepass at all. Like, Nosepass is just a really weird design. Like, I understand they were trying with the Moa heads from Easter Island, but I don't know. It just didn't
Easter
really.
Island, yeah.
It didn't really hit for
Yeah,
me,
they
you
weren't
know?
great. Yeah. Plus without Probopass, it honestly just doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, I just like I think like a lot of people like to like make fun of Probopass, but like no one makes fun of like Nosepass as much. Like Nosepass is just like at least with like Probopass, he's just kind of goofy looking, you know?
Yeah. I do like the how focused on like magnets the line is though.
Yeah,
I
it
think
is
that's
cool.
like the main thing I like about them. But other than that, that's about it.
Yeah, so like Probopass, I would give it like a 4. Uh, what about you? Just 4 as well?
Yeah, I think I'd give it a 5 because I feel like it's not like great, but I think it's the amount of effort that is put into the average Pokemon, kind of like
Fair
thought
enough.
wise.
Fair enough. Yeah. I think like them giving it more details, like with like it always faced in North is also a really good uh detail to it. So I could see it being like a 5.
Yeah.
Skitty and Delcatty. You wanna go you wanna take these guys?
Yeah, I've always thought Skitty and Delcatty were kind of cute. Um, but I never really saw the complete purpose of it. They're kind of just like little cat things. I don't know. I guess I don't know if like I don't know what the design inspiration was, but I'm assuming it was like a neck pillow for Delcatty.
Yeah. I feel like the
Yeah,
whole point of Skitty and Delcatty was to bring in like more like girls into Pokemon because like what
that's a good point.
I
Yeah.
think like Pokemon Sapphire was like it made in like what 2003, 2004, somewhere around there. And like Pokemon beforehand, like if you look at like all these like designs, like they're usually like pretty like with Gen 1, they're all pretty like cool looking in a way. Like they're all like they have angles to them, they all like look like they're really cool. And like there's not really many like pretty cute ones like specifically made to be cute. If it makes sense, like you have
Right.
Pikachu and like the starters, right? But then they evolve
Yeah.
outside of the mold and becoming cool. Uh I think like the only thing you really have is like the Clefable, Jigglypuff line, and then Ninetales is more like majestic type thing. So I feel like that they made it just to have like a good like cutish thing that like girls might like, you know?
Yeah. I feel like the objective there was like cute or pretty, which
Yeah,
is
it's
they
fine.
did that in Gen 1 too. The original like I think it was Clefairy was designed to be kind of like um kind of be the
Mhm.
girly Pokemon. And
Yeah.
I don't remember who was the main designer for Pokemon.
I think it was actually one of the designer's wives. She made Pikachu and Clefairy and all those like more cuter Pokemon because they were like,
Well,
hey, we need more cute
yeah,
Pokemon, and they kind of chose to be the mascot. They were going to do Clefairy, but they went with Pikachu because they wanted like a more like neutral type thing because Clefairy seems
yeah,
more like girly if that makes sense, you know.
yeah.
And
That is
realistically, just realistically, like Pokemon's graphics was probably more boys back then, and even now, it's still probably the majority guys. Still, like there's still like a good majority of girls now, but beforehand it was mostly guys. Let's be real.
yeah. Um, but back to that lead designer and his wife kind of
Hmm.
thing. I think it was the lead designer tried to make a cute or girly Pokemon, and he made Clefairy.
Hmm.
But you know it wasn't really his style. And I think his wife made Jigglypuff.
Jigglypuff?
If I'm not mistaken, Jigglypuff. Yeah.
You
I
mean
think that
Jigglypuff?
was like yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
I think that one was designed by his wife. But yeah.
yeah.
Anyway,
I also want to add on to Delcatty. I feel like the Delcatty is not fully finished. Like I feel like that there should be a new evolution to it. Like it makes sense. I
yeah,
understand like the tail being like the one of those things where you put the pins where you sew it or whatever, and then like it has like a
oh
neck pillow with the like pins, but they just don't look that
yeah,
finished, if that makes sense. And also, like, Skitty is also be kind of supposed to be a bit of a like a cat toy because like it chases its own tail.
right. Yeah. The most redeeming factor, in my opinion, is a Skitty is breeding compatible with
Stop!
Wailord.
I know what you're going to say. I knew you were going to say that.
I think that's hilarious. I
That is
love
funny.
imagining I mean, like, not imagining, like, the actual process, but just,
Hey,
like,
yo.
a skitty being just, like, being enveloped by all of the mass that is Wailord.
Yeah, that's the funny thing is with Wailord, it's actually like mostly filled with air, so it's not even heavy at all.
It is, yeah, it's not even heavy. Yeah.
Okay, so Delcatty and Skitty, I don't really care for it. Like I would give them a five, like objectively. Like I just think they're fine designs. I just don't really care for them. I just feel like Delcatty's not fully finished as a Pokemon. That
Yeah,
or
I
like
agree.
that or it's just not made for me, you know?
Yeah. That's a good point. It's not made for you.
Yeah.
But,
But
you know,
you know,
yeah,
yeah.
that's respectable.
It's respectful. There's nothing wrong with it, I feel, other than like I feel like it's just not fully finished. I feel like they
Yeah,
should have made
it
like
could have.
I feel like they should have made like maybe like the back more purple if that makes sense. Because I don't like that it's like kind
Yeah,
of like bland.
yeah, it's a little too it's it honestly is the word for it is just unfinished.
Yeah. So moving on from it, so we don't have to waste too much time. Sableye. I
Yeah.
love Sableye. He's just a little gremlin. Like he's just a little gremlin. And before
Yeah.
I know everyone always talks about Spiritomb being like it had no weaknesses, but Sableye also had no weaknesses before it. The only problem is like Sableye was
Really?
pretty trash, like uh compared to Spiritomb. Like the stats are really, really bad.
Yeah. It's not too vi- viable. Not even I never even used him in like a playthrough, I don't
Yeah.
think. But I do like him. I like his design and I like the fact that he eats gems.
I really like the design of it. Like
Plus,
that's the one thing about
yeah.
Sable. I think the design is really cool. I like that he's a little gremlin. I just like it.
Yeah.
I actually think he's specifically supposed to be a gremlin, actually, too. Like not like the movie
Yeah.
Gremlins, but just like a gremlin or a
Right.
goblin.
Yeah.
Uh,
He's like a little goblin.
I just like the colors. I think the colors really like slick. And honestly,
Yeah.
I I like the ability Prankster. Prankster's always a really fun ability to have. Pretty much any like
Okay.
non-damaging moves always goes first, and it's really fun.
Really? I didn't
Yeah,
realize that. That's interesting.
so you can get something like let's say like toxic, and you can just go first and toxic the person before it dies.
Oh, that's perfect.
Or you could do something fun like
Dang, you
Destiny
set up
Bond.
yeah, you can set up like freaking stealth rocks.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
I would give Stable Eye a solid like 7 out of 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd give him I think a 6.5.
Really. I felt like that you would like Stable Eye more actually.
I do like him a lot. I just like honestly, I wish he had like some sort of evolution. I
Fair.
mean like I know that they gave him a mega and
And
all,
the Mega's really
but
good.
it is really good. It's a good mega. Um but like I feel like there could have been a little bit more. You know what? No, you've
Fair.
changed my mind. I'd give him a 7.5. Yeah, like
I don't know.
it's
I
pretty
would
good.
just I just assume like Sableye would be a Pokemon you would like more than me, just because it just feels like a Pokemon that you would like,
I
just like
did used
design
to like
wise.
him a lot more in the past. But yeah. No,
Got
I do like him.
okay. And then going to Mawile, I feel like Mawile is the same idea with Skitty, but I feel like it's better designed. Like it makes sense, and I like the
Yeah.
like it feels more aspired to because they were actually using the myths with it, like with the like You know the myth where like the lady had like the a mouth in the back of her head.
Yeah.
It feels
Is that also a yokai?
yes, I believe
I
so.
think
I
it might
believe
be
so.
a yokai. Yeah.
A lot of Gen 2 Pokemon or Gen 3 Pokemon are supposed to be yokai.
Mhm.
And
Kind of
I
wrapping
just kind of like it.
Japanese culture. Yeah, I also like it. It is like a girlier Pokemon. You can see that mostly in like the dress and
Yeah.
it's got like a more feminine face, but it's also it's also a very cool Pokemon.
Yeah. It's not overly
But like
feminine. Feminine. Blah, 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 blah.
yeah, it's both feminine but also kind of badass.
Yeah. Not to say like it's like being feminine is a bad thing, but like I feel like for Pokemon, like humanoid Pokemon, you don't want to be too much like a actual like human. Like
Yeah.
I think like Machamp.
Especially with a feminine Pokemon, you
Oh
don't want a
no no
humanoid
no.
Pokemon to be
We
too
already know what
feminine.
happened to we already know what happened to Gardevoir. We already know what happened to Gardevoir.
Poor Gardevoir. Poor
Gardevoir got ruined.
Gardevoir.
Gardevoir's just ruined. I'm so
And
sad for it.
Lopunny. They also ruined Lopunny. They took Lopunny.
Okay, we'll get to that. We'll get to that after when we get to Gen 4. We'll get to that after Gen 4.
We
Just
will.
leave that.
We will get to that.
Aeron.
All right.
Oh wait, I would give Mawile like a 5 just because I think it's like a better design than Delcatty. You know, actually I put a 5.5 just because it is better than Delcatty. It's just not for me to again.
Right. Like you're not the target audience, which is,
Right.
understandable. I would give it I think I'd give it a 6.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. I think it's a good design. It's just not for me. So yeah.
Yeah.
Going on from Mawile to the Aggron line. Aggron's so
Ooh,
cool. Like the whole line, they look so super cool. Like Aggron literally looks like a tank. Like it actually looks like a tank. And I like that it's a Oni, like a yokai Oni. And it looks
yeah.
really cool. Like nothing can damage it at all. It looks so cool. Aron is super cute. I love Aron. Aron's super cute looking. Like he's just a little
So
like
cute.
turtle guy, right? My
Yeah.
biggest
He's like a
pro
little iron.
my biggest problem with that is that they're rock steel, which means they have two quad weaknesses to both fighting and ground. And that's just so sad to me because they're super cool Pokemon. They're super cool
Yeah.
Pokemon.
I agree. I don't really see the need for the rock type. I would if I could change it, I would change it to ground because they live in caves in the ground. Um Also, I really liked them when I was little because I know a few people have made this comparison,
Hmm.
but they kind of look like almost like almost like ride online without
Right on
ride
these
period.
nuts. Got him.
Uh, Dang it! But it's such a good Pokemon. Rhydon
Wait,
is just a great Pokemon, and I should really not say it, but
yeah. The problem is like I I do see why they're rock types. I do see the rock types. Like it's not like a
yeah,
randomly like added typing. Like I see why they're both rock and steel. And plus Aggron eats
right.
like a whole bunch of rocks. I think it says so in the
Oh, that's a good
Pokédex.
point.
Like
Yeah, I think so.
oh no, it eats iron, never mind. I thought it was like rocks, but it's iron actually, never mind. But I still
Yeah,
see why it's rock type. Like you can see like the body's still rocky.
yeah, it is rigid like that. Yeah,
And I would
but it's a
just
super cool looking
yeah, it's a super
Pokemon.
cool Pokemon. Like the whole line's good. Like Leyron's also really solid looking too. They all look really good. I would give it an 8 out of
Yeah,
10. It's just sad because because the typing is just so bad.
it is.
Like, obviously, like, typing isn't everything for a Pokemon, because like, you can like a bad Pokemon, but it's just kind of
Right.
sad, though.
Tragic.
Yeah. I think I said I gave them an 8. What would you give them?
I would also give them an 8.
Alright.
Maybe 9 if they didn't have rock, honestly.
Right. Metatite and Metachan. Uh, here's the thing. I like their idea with their ability being like pure power, where like they're pretty weak
Mhm.
Pokemon, like 60 base power, and then they have the ability being pure power, which just doubles their attack stat. And that's really cool, but and they're pretty fun to use in lower tiers, but it's just like eh. Like I don't really like the design too much.
Yeah, I've never really liked the designs. I especially don't like the lips on Metacham.
Oh no, I don't
I
like that
do
either.
like the fact that they're fighting psychics. I think
That is
fighting
really
psychic
cool.
has a lot of potential, but I feel like they're just kind of forgettable.
Yeah. I do kind of like the mega of Metachan though. That is something I will say.
Same. Yeah, that's a good point.
So yeah, overall, I would give them like a 6 out of 10, just because they're pretty fun to use.
Yeah, I'd give them a 5 out
Oh
of
wait,
10 because I think
wait, wait,
they're
wait, wait,
good
wait, wait.
Pokemon.
I actually want to lower it to 5 for the only reason because if you don't get a Metachan or Metatite without pure power, and you get something like with like uh telepathy uh, during a playthrough, that is pretty much useless, and it's not fun to use at all after that. Then,
Good point. Yeah.
so yeah, you can finish now.
Oh yeah. I think I'd say 5 out of 10 because I feel like it's a good solid Pokemon. It's what a Pokemon should be. It's just not my favorite.
Right. And then going on to Electrike. Here's the thing. I feel like Electrike and Manectric is they kind of try to do what like Luxray tries to do, where they're supposed to be like really cool electric Pokemon. But personally, for me, I don't know. Like, I feel like they're just not as well made. I feel like that they're just kind of like not fully finished. Like, I understand the point with like the hair sticking back with uh Electrike and like the little spikes everywhere. And then with Manectric, I
Mhm.
don't really understand the design at all with like the weird like mountain head, like the cone head. Like it just doesn't make too much sense to me. I feel like if
Yeah.
they did something different, it would be a lot cooler to me. But I don't know. I just don't really like I just don't know. Like I don't feel like they're finished.
Yeah. Same. I think that Manectric kind of looks like he should have an evolution. And not
That's
just the Mega. I'm not a huge fan of his Mega either,
that's kind of what
to
I
be
was
honest.
thinking. I don't like the
Yeah.
Mega either. The Mega just gave it like a huge thunderball in its head, and that's like it. I like how it plays in battle, though. I think Mega Manectric is really fun to use in battle, though. That is something I will say. I wish that Mega Manectric was just a pure evolution just so I could use it again, because I can't use it anymore because they took away Megas. So yeah, that's a thing about
Yeah.
Manectric. I think the Mega is really fun to use.
Yeah. He kind of looks like a police dog, maybe. Like he looks very like disciplined and loyal, which is what I
Hmm.
want in a dog Pokemon, to be honest. But at the same time, they kind of made both of the designs for Electrike and Manectric kind of awkward
Hmm.
looking. Like with Electrike, I never really understood why they used green
Yeah, green.
as the primary color.
Oh, you know what? I think like if they made it like blue, like look nice
Mhm.
like electric blue, it would actually look good. Like it would actually look really clean. Oh, like yeah, like look at the like. Let me get the like the shiny electric I want like the here we go. Like if it was like this blue, I think it would look a lot better. Like the green never made sense to me. It just doesn't like the green
Yeah,
doesn't work for me.
yeah, that does look better. Plus, I never really understood the shape of its head.
Like I kind of understand because like you know how usually like with electric like your hair sticks up and that type of thing. That makes sense, but I don't like how it
Yeah,
looks though. It makes sense. I
it
wish
just
they
looks
did it
like
in a
its
different
head is
way.
it's a little bulky.
Yeah. I feel like they could have if they had more time with it, they could have made it look a lot better. Overall though, I would give it like a
Yeah,
good like 6 out of 5 for the line. I don't think they're bad. I just think they're a little awkward.
yeah,
Plus the mine I don't really care for. I know that they were trying to like uh push double battles and double battles is really cool, but these Pokemon they're just Pichus with plus minimums. Eh.
yeah.
I think we can
It's
just skip
yeah,
through them because they don't really do anything else, you know?
yeah. Honestly, if they gave them like an evolution, then I'd be like, all right, maybe.
I
But
don't want
yeah,
them to have an
skip.
evolution. I don't think they need an evolution.
Yeah, yeah, maybe. I guess so. I always kind of saw them on as like two sides of like a Pichu.
Hmm.
Um, what would be kind of cool is if they were Pichus, but like and like they evolved into Pikachus, but slightly different Pikachus. Like
That's
one
kind
that
of
was more
weird.
negatively charged or one more positively charged. But yeah, they are kind of just
They're just
weird.
Pokemon. They're just Pikachu clones. I never really cared for too
Um,
many of the Pikachu clones except for like Mimikyu, but like yeah. Anyways,
Mimikyu, I do.
Mimikyu's awesome. Anyways, let's go
Oh
to
yes.
Volbeat and Illuminism. Illuminism, I don't know how to pronounce their name. Here's the thing.
Illum.
I
Okay.
like their designs. I like that they're supposed to be like the greaser and punk and like the maid thing. What was that one
Yeah.
show? What was that one movie? Grease Lightning, you know that show or the movie?
I do not.
Okay, it's like an old one. Like that's the like type of like uh ideas. Let me see.
Yeah, they're kind of like what is it? The Outsiders, like Greasers,
Yeah. They're
Greaser
like
Boy. Yeah.
oh shoot. Wait. Don't do that. I don't know where that was. I was trying to take it can I copy this? Like it's supposed to be like how in like a lot of the shows where like uh you have the little like greaser punks and then you have the like uh what's it like the host not a hostess but like okay I don't even know I can't even think of about it right now but yeah personally
Yeah, I'm
speaking
trying to. Yeah.
I have a real big fondness of Illuminism because here's the thing she's actually pretty good with like move sets and she was a huge part of my Emerald playthrough. So I personally have a really big strong point for her because she just helped a lot in my playthrough and she was actually better than I would ever expect using it. So I really like Illuminism. Illuminiza? I don't know how to pronounce it, but I personally like it just for that one fact alone, and that's cool to me. And then
That's
Volbeat's
it.
just there.
Yeah. For sure. For sure. Like when you use a Pokemon on your team, you do form a bond with it,
Yeah,
which is I really like that. It's something that Pokemon and only Pokemon can do, in my opinion.
I feel like
It
that
gives
too because
like
like a lot of
something
like
that you
Pokemon clones, like they will try, but they don't do what Pokemon does.
yeah, you just don't get as attached.
Here's the thing, as much as everyone wants to say like how Pokemon is bad now, I feel like that they're really good with Pokemon, like the Pokemon themselves. Like that's one thing I think
Mhm.
they will always do really well with.
Yeah.
Anyways, with Volbeat, I would give it like a 5, and then Illuminism, Illuminise. I think it's Illuminise. I would give it like a 7 just for the usage.
Very cool. I'd give them both about like a 6 because I am a
Fair.
sucker for like a match Pokemon.
Fair. And then I want to go real quickly for Roselia. I want to like take a like not talk about like Badoo or Roserade because they're kind of like add-ons. But honestly,
Right.
Roselia by itself, it's not that good. Like it's I don't know. It's just not really like solid. Like Roserade looks actually like finished. Roselia, like as its own Pokemon, it just doesn't look finished. So I'm glad that they gave Roselia a new evolution and a new baby form. Because I think like most baby Pokemon, here's the thing: most baby Pokemon don't really have a reason to be made. I feel like Badoo
Right.
does because it makes the whole line feel a lot more like finished.
Yeah.
Because like Roselia by itself, it's just there. I don't like Roselia by itself. I never really even liked Roselia itself. I like Badoo and I like Roserade, but I never liked Roselia. Roselia was always that outliner that I didn't like, and I think that's kind of why. Because uh, Roserade and Badoo feels very much more finished. Well, with Roselia, it just feels like it's just a filler Pokemon, and which is probably what it was. To be fair,
I think it is a filler Pokemon, but I'm really glad that they added Roserade because I'm quite fond of
oh,
Roserade's
Roserade's
design.
awesome.
I think it's pretty cool. Um, so yeah, honestly, Roselia alone, I would give like a. I'd give it a 6 because I do think its design is a little bit like visually interesting, and
Hmm.
at the same time, it does look like what a Pokemon is. But I feel like it just came in the wrong generation.
Honestly, for me, I feel like Roselia is honestly probably I want to put it like 4, maybe like 3.5, because I just don't see the point of it outside of like Roserade. Hey, Pottermold, do you want to say these Pokemon's names?
I'm going to choose not to, but these goopy little
Okay, wait.
goobers, I don't
Wait,
know.
I gotta do one. I gotta wait one. So, Hoenn Muk. Hoenn Muk. Outside of their names, they're kind of lame. Like, I don't see the point of adding them. They also feel like filler Pokemon. Like, there's not too much to their designs other than that they're slimes.
Yeah,
Like, with Muk, at the very least, like, it made it felt like more understandable because usually in RPGs you usually have slime poke or some kind of like slime enemy, but with these I
yeah,
just feel like there's no point in them. Like there's so many better like poison Pokemon. Like everyone will talk about like Trubbish makes no sense or Trubbish is bad or Muck is bad. Like no one talks about these guys because they're just not good. They're so forgettable. Like these are some of the most forgettable Pokemon, and there's like no point of them having them.
yeah. Honestly, they are kind of just like Grimer clones,
Yeah.
Grimer
I
and
feel
Muk
like the
clones.
only reason why they added them was to have some poison type, because the only poison types you had were like Dustox and then Roselia and
Yeah,
Seviper, and that's it. So I think they were just made to have some kind of poison type.
yeah.
Honestly, outside of the really, really funny names, I would give them like a 3 out of 10, honestly. Like I just think they're not good design Pokemon. Like I like the colorations of Big um Hoenn Muk, but like other than that, eh.
Hmm. And you know what? I've decided for the sake of anyone who is watching this and does not understand the point of the names,
What?
Swalot and Gulpin.
Gulpin is not.
Fall out of these nuts.
Got him.
Anyway, got him.
All right. So moving
Immature.
on. Carvana and Sharpedo, these have just so super cool designs. I love their designs. They're just really,
They
really
are.
cool
They're
looking
tough.
Pokemon.
Yeah. For a, I mean, if we were gonna get a piranha Pokemon, Carvana is great for that.
Yeah,
It's just like it's such a cool poke. And for a shark Pokemon, Sharpedo is just wonderful.
yeah. And
Um,
a really cool
I
thing
think
about Sharpedo, real quickly, is if you have a
yeah,
Sharpedo with Surf and Emerald, it actually goes faster than any other Surf Pokemon. And that's only for Sharpedo. And that's really cool, like small detail. Like
mhm,
these are the small
and it
details that I
takes
feel like Pokemon really does really well.
yeah, that's dope. Because it's like a jet ski, isn't it?
It's a torpedo. It's a
Isn't it?
torpedo.
Or it's or I guess so. Yeah, a torpedo. Um, but yeah, that's really cool. Plus, didn't was it gonna be in Gen 2? Didn't it have a beta
Yeah,
design in Gen
I
2?
I feel like I told you this before, in our
Yeah,
last
I think
video
you
where
did.
like they use a shark design. Let me s- uh let me see if I can
With an
find
anchor.
them. Beta Johto uh, shark line here. Let me get it for you. Where they had a beta design for, and they kind of split into three Pokemon with you had the Chinchou line, the Sharpedo, and then Hauntail. And I feel like that's what they did with these three guys. They just switched off. And it's super super cool to me that they can still
Yeah,
reuse Pokemon. The cool thing is that they still use beta uh designs for new Pokemon every now and then too. So that's really cool to me too. Cause you like they use beta Tortuga and that was meaning like Gen 2.
yeah, yeah.
So
That is
yeah.
pretty sick.
Sharpedo, anyways. I think the colorations for both of these guys, like Carvana especially, like it have been really colorful. It's super cool. Like the blue, like it's really nice navy blue, and then the red and the yellow work all so well with each other. And then with Sharpedo, like it's just a shark and it's super cool, and I like that it has actually has a scar on the top.
Yeah.
I would
Also,
give.
like its eye,
Oh, the eyes
the
are
way its
super
eyes
cool.
kind of kills as well. Yeah,
I love the eyes. I would personally give them like a good like 8.5.
I would give it an 8 for sure. Yeah,
Good, good. Fair, fair. And then Whalmer and Wailord, personally speaking, I think they're goofy because how big they are, but like I don't know, they just seem kind of like unfinished Pokemon in a way. Like I understand, like kind of like boring designs. Like I understand, like Whalmer is supposed to be like a beach ball, and then Wailord is like a blimp, and also like their whole thing is their wheels. But I feel like they could have done more to like make them kind of like cooler. Like maybe like give Wailord maybe like a few stripes, maybe because it's a beach ball, and then like
yeah,
Wailord you could do something with it. I don't know. I
yeah.
just feel like
To
that they're
me,
not finished.
yeah, I feel like they're just like I don't think they're anything super special. I've never used them on my team, and I don't really like. I wouldn't really care to, but I do think that they fill a very nice role as goofy Pokemon.
I think they're fine. I just feel like they're a little bit unfinished, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I would give them like a good like 6.
I think Wailord's most redeeming factor is that it's breed compatible with
I knew you
with
were going to bring it up again. I knew you were going to bring it up again.
I think it's funny that they're in the same generation too. But yeah, um,
Actually, let me. What? Oh, okay, because it's field. Okay, okay, okay. I was just looking at the breeding.
Field?
What? The egg
You
group
kidding
is
me?
field.
Whale Lord is in Field?
That doesn't make any sense, though.
That doesn't make any sense. I'm starting to think they did this on purpose.
I actually kind of want to see like if there's any other like smaller Pokemon. Yo, wait. Instead of Skitty, what about Rattata though?
Oh goodness.
Or Diglett?
No way. I'm just imagining Whale Lord sticking out of
Stop.
the ground. No, not like that. Stop it. Anyway, moving on.
Anyways. Uh, Numel and Camera. I actually really love Camera. I love the Fire and Ground typing. I actually think it's a really, really good typing, despite it being quad weak to water. I think it's a really solid typing actually, because like I don't know, I think it's an underrated typing to me personally. Like I just think it's really, really cool. And like it having solid rock as an ability pretty much makes the quad weakness to water into a triple weakness to water. It's super cool too. So any weaknesses that it has is like uh not halved, but I think 1/3 of it is taken away. So that's really cool. Or a
Yeah,
quarter,
I
something
always
like that.
liked. Um,
And
I think that
I
yeah
also like
continues.
how derpy Numel is. I think Numel's cute in derpy way.
Same. I really like Camerupt. I like the fact that they made a camel that is
A volcano.
it has spikes on its back that don't store water, but they store lava. Uh,
Yeah, that's
I
really
think
cool.
that's one cool. Also, I do really like the fire ground typing as well because even though it's triple or quad weak to water, it it I mean fire and ground are two of the best typings. So
This is a really cool combination together, honestly.
for
And
real,
then Mega Camera this is awesome. I love Mega Camera. Mega Camera is so
he
fun to
was so
use.
I love him.
I would give
That's one
Camera
of my
like
favorite.
I would give Camera like a good 7/5 or 7.5.
I would give Camerupt a solid 7, and I'd give Numel a 6.5.
I would give Numel a 7 because I just like how derpy he is.
Yeah, he's good.
I also like that with Numel, like he's like like his little like top it has grass, so like on top of his like hill, so like it's not fully like the volcano isn't fully like ready to erupt. I also like that element of Numel.
Yeah,
But anyways, let's switch to one of my favorite fire types of all time, Torkoal. I love Torkoal. Torkoal's so cute, and I love how it looks, like the colorations, and everything. I like that it's a furnace on its back, and like it shoots out smoke out of its nostrils and its back. I love how it looks. I love Torkoal, and I love how good it is in battle, just because of the sun. I really really like Torkoal, and it says turtle, so like I also love turtles, and I just love Torkoal. Torkoal is one of my favorite fire types of all time. I love Torkoal.
Vocal
Maybe
is
even my favorite
amazing.
fire.
I think he's fantastic, and I love him on his own. But I always liked
Mhm,
the idea that, or of him being like the first evolution of a starter trio, because I feel like that would, like, I think that could work if he
mhm.
had evolutions.
I
But at the
personally
same time, he also does wonderfully on his own.
I personally like it more that it's on its own because I don't think every Pokemon needs an evolution. I feel like everyone talks about how a Pokemon needs an evolution. Torkoal
Yeah.
does really well on its own, and I like that it's on its own. I don't want it to get anything new personally. Maybe like a new form, maybe like maybe like a new maybe like a new conversion species where like instead of like a fire, it's like a geyser maybe.
Yeah, like a water one.
Yeah, like
I also thought about the idea of there being like a grass and a water version of him.
mm-hmm,
Thought that there was like a grass version for some reason for the
really.
longest time, but
When did that start?
yeah, but
And when did you
I don't know.
realize?
I think it was because that's a good question. I have no idea, but like when I was little, I was able to convince myself of anything, to be honest.
Maybe because of the Tortuga,
uh,
maybe?
I was thinking about that, and their shells are kind of similar with like the indentations,
Hmm.
so maybe. I think you might be right with that. But it would be really cool to see a
A new,
convergent species.
yeah.
Cool.
Also, but maybe it's maybe not a conversion species, because like also it's like a if it's going to be a turtle, then like yeah, because I feel like with conversion species, it's kind of like a miss for a lot of them, and I want to make a video about conversion species later, so I'll talk about it then. But yeah,
Yeah, that's all right.
Grumpig and
Yeah,
Spoink. Oh, actually, wait, I didn't vote. I need to give Torkoal one. 10 out of 10. I love Torkoal. Torkoal's awesome. I love Torkoal. He's one of my favorite fire types. Possibly my very favorite fire type of all time. I love Torkoal so much.
gotta love Torkoal. I think he's my. I think I'd give him a like an 8.5 out of 10.
Fair, fair. He's just so well made. I love him.
Yeah,
And then we go on to Grumpig. Honestly, he's just forgettable. I feel like he's unfinished as well. Like, I think Spoink is kind of like cute, and then Grumpig is like, what is Grumpig? I don't like Grumpig. Like, Spoink is fine. Grumpig just makes no sense to me. I don't like Grumpig that much.
honestly, I think this is an issue a lot of people have about him. Because like Spoink is like adorable. He's got like there's a big emphasis on the
Spring,
crystal ball on his head, and
yeah,
yeah, and his main thing is that
he hops.
he's a little spring guy, and then he evolves into Grumpig, and Grumpig's pearls don't really kind of have a big emphasis. He's now the manipulative Pokemon, which is not what I would have expected
Wait,
out of
really?
Spoink,
Wait,
and the spring is not very prominent.
wait, let me
I'm
read
pretty
the
sure he's the
Pokedex.
manipulation Pokemon. I'm not
Pokemon.
entirely sure. I'd like to wrong on that, but I think so.
It does. What the?
Right?
I. Grumpig is
For
just one of
what
those Pokemon
reason
where you
would
never
you
think about because it's just bad. I don't like Grumpig. Like, why did they give it feet?
give him? Yeah, why did they? They should have stuck with the spring thing. Like I know that he still has a spring tail, but it's like not even a part of his design.
Wait,
Everything great about Spoink was removed with Grumpig.
I want to like. Do they have like him walking or anything or him moving? Could
Um, I think yeah, like in the anime, I'm pretty sure
Grumpig
there's this
and
one episode where he jerked to a bunch of Spoinks.
I just want
I'm
to
sure
see
that's
him.
like
I
the
just want to
entire
kind of
episode.
like see him walk. I want to see him like walk somehow. I can't find if he how he walks because if he that also changes a huge thing. Because like if he walks on his legs, that makes it even worse to me.
He does walk on his legs.
Okay, Grumpig is
He
a one
walks
out of
so
10.
it's a 1 out of 10.
He's
Yeah,
just so
yeah, yeah.
ugly looking
It
too.
might be the first. It's not a good design,
I don't like Grumpig at
honestly.
all.
They,
I never
yeah,
use a Grumpig
they
either.
if any Pokemon should be given a redesign, I think It should be Grumpig
Fair enough. Fair enough.
or
I didn't like
Combuskin.
Pig. And what was that last one?
I said or Combuskin.
Bro, you're so sus. Why? How many more do we
uh,
have? Okay, I'm just making sure. All right, Spinda. I mean, it's a cool idea where like like pattern's different,
right.
but like, it's just not cool. Like the Pokemon itself is just eh. Like, there's no really point of it, and like the stats are so bad. Every stat is 60, so it's a useless Pokemon, so you can't use it in battle at all. So you're not going to grow
Yeah.
attached to it. I feel like a Pokemon has to be at least somewhat usable for you to like it.
Yeah. I think Spinda is a perfect example of Game Freak taking a cool idea, which is,
Cool,
it's a good concept,
cool
but
concept.
then they
Just doesn't
kind of
land.
don't do too much with it. Yeah. They
Yeah,
only turn it into a single form Pokemon with no sort of gimmick.
I
It's
think they
just
can. I think
I
they
should
can be single form Pokemon. I just think and it has a gimmick, but it's just not anything special.
yeah. No, 100%. I love single form Pokemon, but it's just Spinda's not
Okay,
it.
okay. Real quickly, uh, under Spinda, you have Zangoose. Zangoose looks finished. He looks really, really cool. Spinda doesn't really look like there's much going for it at all.
Yeah.
And they have like the same colorations. They have different like they are kind of like the same concept. They're both normal types, but one does it a lot better than the other. Anyways,
Yeah.
this is one of your favorites, right? The Flygon line.
This is this is one of my favorites. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Man, good on you for remembering that. I love Trapinch. He's a cute little buggy boy. I like sand lions. They're a cool
Mhm.
creature, in my opinion. Um, Vibrava, I think he looks like a he's a solid middle form, in my
Real quick,
opinion. And
I was actually
Flygon
going to say that.
is so
I think Vivravra, I can't pronounce his name. I always call it Vivravra because it's funny. But I actually think
yeah,
Vivravra is one of the best like middle stages of any Pokemon. Like it looks really, really good. Like I think it's a really good designed middle stage.
yeah. And I'm kind of like, I mean, Ground Dragon is pretty sick, but I kind of
Bug
wish that
Dragon,
they made like in Vibrava bug at least.
yeah.
Like, I mean, like I get Flygon being dragon type, but I think Vibrava and Pinch should have
Trapinch,
been ground or
Bug.
yeah, ground
Yeah, I
bug.
can see
I
that. I
think
kind of
so.
wish that Flygon was also Bug type too because I want a Bug Dragon.
Bug dragon would be so sick.
Yeah.
Honestly, they should have made him bug dragon.
Like that's not
Um
that's like one of
and
my only like problems with it because and also like Flygon also gets overshadowed by Garchomp because it's the same typing too and better pretty much.
yeah, yeah, so it should have been. It really should have been.
It would have stand out a lot more then.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh
And it's shiny. The blue and orange is just
oh, I
oh,
love the shiny. I
it's
love the
one.
shiny of Flygon. Actually, I want to see shiny Vivravra first because I don't think I ever saw a shiny Vivravra. Okay, it's fine. I mean, it just turns the wings red. I never saw the shiny of Vivravra, so I want to see it. But now Flygon has a really good shiny. I like the blue and the green. It just looks really, really good. I just like
Mhm.
how good it looks. And sadly, Game Freak couldn't make a good design for Mega Flygon, which is why we don't have one.
Yeah.
Which
Honestly,
honestly, real
a
quickly, I
lot of
actually
people.
want to say that I kind of like that they don't make a Mega because they didn't want to give it a bad design. I think it's very respectable, respectable that they want to like keep the Pokemon as good as it looks that it is if they don't think they have a good design for it. I think a lot of people hate on Game Freak too much for that, but I think it's a really cool thing that they did.
Yeah. I number one, it takes a lot of it takes a lot of discipline to leave sleeping dogs lie and quit while you're ahead. With and Flygon is a perfect example of that. Plus, a lot of people like to make mega fan art of Flygon, and honestly, just none of them look good.
I think
They
there are
always look
some
too
good
busy.
ones. I think there are
Yeah,
some good ones, but also you also have to realize they have a deadline and everything. So like
that's
it
true.
does need so they do have a little bit more leeway. Like the other people have a little bit more leeway. Like I think
Yeah.
like this mega one, I don't know who made it. I just looked on Google. I think that one looks good, but like Game Freak doesn't have all
Oh
the
yeah.
time in the world. Like I know like a lot of people like to rip on them, and some of them I think is like some stuff is fair. Like why do they make leave Pokemon Scarlet and Violet unfinished? Like that makes sense, but like stuff like that, it's just like
Yeah.
at least Flygon still looks good.
Yeah.
Also, I really want to talk about Flygon, like base Flygon. I think all the greens and red looks really, really good. Like they chose a really good coloration of green. Like I think the green that they chose, the shades are really, really nice.
Yeah. I think it's a very smart color combo because it looks fierce yet also like uh not too like scary, not too
Hmm.
it's just like a really good design on its own.
I
And
think it
the
looks
dark green with complementing the regular green is
yeah.
just really great. And I like the way they kept the regular green for it's shiny, but
Hmm.
they replaced the dark green with blue.
Here's the thing.
I did like that.
I also think that Flygon did what they want to do with what's his name with Gudra, where they want to make a kind of like cool uh dragon will also make it look cute and cuddly. I think Flygon
Yeah,
looks really fierce while also having the cute elements to it.
yeah. I think well, I mean like two of my favorite Pokemon being or two of my favorite dragon types, honestly,
Mhm.
like both top 10 Pokemon, but they're both it's Dragonite and Flygon because they're both
Yeah.
fierce looking but also cuddly.
Here's
I
the thing.
think it's a very good balance.
I understand why everyone loves Flygon so much. I like Flygon do too, but not as much as everyone else. I would love it a lot more if it were a bug type. Because honestly speaking, like personally speaking, I wish that they had the bug dragon typing, and I feel like that would made it look a lot like it would feel a lot more special to me. Because like if you don't know, like Pokemon started off like with bug catching, and they were planning like Pokemon to be like bug catching, and now they don't really do too many things with bugs because even though bug was like the start of everything. So I wish that they were
Yeah,
bug dragons.
yeah. Honestly, I think Flygon would have been the perfect bug dragon.
Yeah.
I wish
I
it
think there was a
was.
few good bug dragons, like Yanmega or like I was telling you it's Flapple.
Is Yanmega dragon type?
Flapple, yeah, Flapple's a dragon.
I mean like bug dragon though. For
No,
Yanmega.
oh Yanmega,
Yanmega is just bug.
it's
Oh,
bug
you're
flying.
saying it should be dragon. No, no,
Yeah,
yeah, it
it's
should
literally a
also
dragonfly.
definitely
And like
be
unlike
dragon. It
Yanma,
is literally a dragon.
where like Yanma clearly doesn't have any like dragon elements to it, like it doesn't look anything like special. It's just a dragonfly. Like Yanmega looks like it has dinosaur-esque elements because it's from the past, so it would make a lot more sense for it to be dragon.
It would.
So yeah. Anyways, with Flygon, I would give it a good solid 8. The whole line.
Yeah, I'd give it 9.5.
Really, not
I,
10
I
out
mean
of
like
10?
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. I try to be careful with. I I
Fair.
would 100% give it a 10 out of 10, but you know what? Yeah, it's 10 out of 10.
Because you literally said
It's
it's like out of your top 10 favorites. How is it not 10 out of 10? Out of like,
it is out of my top 10 favorites. You're right. It's 10 out of 10.
I don't give a lot of Pokemon 10 out of 10s either, but like, I think the only ones I've just like, I gave like Torkoal, uh, I gave Ninjask and Shedinja it, like the whole line altogether,
Mhm.
because they are really, really good. And
Yeah,
then I gave like I didn't even give any of the like. Did I give Sceptile 10 out of 10? I think I might have, but like realistically, it's 9 out of 10. Same with Mudkip. If I did,
right.
looking back, I would put Caesar and like Heracross and Crobat because they're some of in my top favorites. I would give Wooper 10 out of 10, and then Scyther and Nidoking and possibly Bulbasaur Gen 1 and maybe Aerodactyl. No, Aerodactyl will be like 9 out of 10, but like, yeah. So I don't give it out too much either, personally.
Yeah, because then it starts to lose its punch.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, yeah, honestly, for 10 out of 10s, I'd be like Dragonite for sure. I think
Mm,
Mewtwo, Mudkip, Flygon. Those are the ones I can think off the top of my head.
right. And then for the next Pokemon, it would be Cacnea. Cacnea and Cacturne. Here's the thing, I like their designs. I think they're cool. I feel like Cacturne kind of needs like an evolution, and it's like kind of like not fully finished. I like them.
Yeah,
I just wish that there's something new with them.
same. I think Cacturne could use an evolution. I do like Cacnea's little. I like the way it's got a cactus bloom for a crown.
Yeah.
Uh, and I like the way Cacturne looks like a desert scarecrow. And I'm pretty sure it just murks people
Oh yeah,
who
it does. It does.
camp out
I
in the.
love that random element that it just kills people randomly.
It's just like, and it looks like the type of thing to do it. You look at it, and it's got a hat covering its most of its eyes, and it's just got like a really unsettling smile on its
Yeah.
face. But I really wish that they gave it like a little bit more.
A little bit more. And what makes it worse is that like it's darkened grass, which Shift Tree is already it. And what makes it worse is that they're both like slow mixed attackers. So like they do the same exact role, which kind of sucks. Because
Yeah.
if you use Shift Tree, you pretty much just use a Cacturne and vice versa in a way.
hmm You know what I think the biggest I think what they should have done with Cacturne is I don't like the little like the dark green diamonds on it for like spikes. I think they should have made like fewer of them and more threatening spikes.
That
And
would
then I
actually
think it
work.
would have
Because
yeah, I think that's what it's missing.
you have like four on each arm and leg, and then you have four on the back on the stomach, and then four around his neck. Because that's a little bit too much.
Yeah.
If they made like a little bit less, I think that would work too. Maybe if they like made like maybe like black spikes or something like that, or like you like kind of like yellow. I do, however, like the eye of Cacturne too.
Oh yeah.
It just looks creepy. I think that's cool.
It was. Yeah. He looks he looks super cool.
Yeah.
I think where I think I think what I would have done is just like put like two like larger spikes on his arms and maybe like a few accent spikes on his like legs and
Hmm.
maybe a couple on his back, bigger ones on his back. And then I might actually like would have like used him a lot. Uh,
Yeah.
I think he could have been one of my favorites if it had been that way.
I also don't want to take away points from it because like they already have Shiftry and as I said, Shiftry and Cacturn, like they serve the same exact role. Uh Shiftry's a little bit faster and then Cacturn hits a little bit harder. So pretty much it's just like it's kind of like Neo King and Neo Queen where if you use one you use the other pretty much.
Right.
Well, like at least with but yeah. I still would give Cacturn like a good like 6 out of 10 because I still think it's pretty cool. I still like it, but yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Altaria. I mean, honestly, it's just not for me. I don't know.
It's not my favorite. I always kind of liked its design a little bit. Um,
I like that it's
but
like it's kind of like a cloud in a way,
yeah,
but like lately Pokemon kind of ruin the cloud to me though, kind of because they made it less into like a cloud and more into like actual like wings.
yeah, that's
Um,
true. I do like the fact that it's dragon though. I feel like they've added a lot of dragon types in this generation, but
yeah.
a dragon bird is interesting.
It's like previously like they made it less like cloudy and I feel like that ruins like the element to it and makes it more like just cotton.
For real. Plus the in the Sun and Moon anime when they
Oh,
showed him
I
wet
saw
and it
that.
was all droopy, that's
I'll scribble up.
terrifying. It's it's horrifying
Yeah, I just feel like they kind of ruined Altaria lately just because they just made it less cloudy.
for sure.
So yeah. I think the colorations are fine. I just think they ruined it for me. So yeah. Um yeah, I don't really have much to say about it anymore. I just think it's kind of ruined. I would give it and also like we already have so many flying dragons too. It's just the worst out of all of them. I would personally give it like 4 out of 10 just because I feel like it does the least amount of things with dragon types.
Yeah.
And then going on from Altaria, we got my probably my favorite horned Pokemon, Zangoose. I love Zangoose. Like it looks so intimidating and like it actually looks like it would destroy you. And I personally love the moveset of Zangoose. Zangoose has a really good moveset. You have close combat, you have facade, you have swords dance, you have ice punch, you have all the elemental punches, you have poison jab, you have rock slide, you have X scissors, you have you have you pretty much have a move for every type that you could possibly want. And that's super cool to me. And the shiny of Zangoose, have you ever seen a shiny of Zangoose?
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
They just turn the
Yeah.
red stripe into a light blue stripe, and it works so well. Like it wasn't that big of a change for Zangoose's shiny, but that little change works really well. I really love Zangoose. I've been using a lot more, and I always wanted to use it, but for some stupid reason, they gave us the Snake and Emerald instead of Zangoose, and I think Zangoose versus Seviper really helps the rivalry. But the funny thing is, like,
Yeah.
Zangoose is just so much better than Seviper do. Like, it's so much better than Seviper. So yeah. I love Zangoose. I would give it a
I
10 out of
agree.
10. It's my favorite horned
Think
Pokemon.
Zangoose
What was
yeah,
that?
I think Zangoose is much better than I think Zangoose is much better than Survivor. And also It's just it's a great shiny.
I love
It's so
Zangoose.
simple yet so effective.
Zangoose is just so cool looking. Like it's genuinely so cool looking.
It is. It's it's way better of a mongoose Pokemon than young goose, that's for sure.
Oh, for sure. And I still think the Viper looks solid. Also, what's your ranking for what would you rate Zangoose?
I would rate Zangoose an 8, and I'd rate Viper a 7.
I also would give the Viper a 7. I here's the thing. I like the design. I think that like the colorations, everything looks really solid. Like the black, the gold, and then the red and purple. I think it all looks really good. Like the coloration is really good. What I don't understand this, but like Hoenn had a really weird uh stat distribution for a lot of Pokemon where they make them all very slow and give them like mixed attacks. So like Viper has a 100 attack in both special and physical attack, and then everything else sucks. So then there's no really real point of using Viper because it's just so bad. And they do it for a lot of
Yeah.
Pokemon in this game. So yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm thinking of them. Uh
Mhm.
Lunatone and Solrock, I mean, they're just kind of goofy looking. I don't really have much to say about them.
Yeah. I think they're cool because they're matching, like they're a pair.
Yeah.
But and for that reason I'd give them about like a 7. I love Pokemon themes, but yeah, there's really not much I have to say about them either.
Yeah, they're just there. I would give them like a 5 because I just don't care. And then Wishcash and Barboach. Personally, I like Barboach a lot more than Cash. Because I just like the colorations. Like I think like the gray and the blue and the black works really, really well. I just like Barboach as its own thing. And I don't really care for Wishcash.
Yeah. Um they're, they're almost like Wingull and Pelipper in my eyes, where
I
the
would
first
agree.
one looks pretty it's good, and then the second one's just a little wonky.
Like, there's something really special about Wishcash, except I guess they were just going for like a goofy type Pokemon. But I don't know. I would give Barboach a 7, maybe like a 6.5, and then Wishcash 5.
Yeah, I'd give Barboach. I think I'd give him like a 6, and then Whiskash like a 5 as well.
You're right. And then Quirtfish and Crawdon. I love Crawdon. Crawdon is so freaking cool. Like Crawdon is so so cool. I love using it in battle. It's super super strong. I love the ability adaptability, which pretty much makes stab moves so much stronger. So like stuff like water, even though it already gets a boost in power, it gets another boost. I think Crawdon looks super cool. Like its claws are so strong looking. And like I love that it's supposed to be like intimidate like impersonating a Sharpedo where like it has the you have the star and like the mouth you can kind of see it like with like the jaws kind of.
Yeah,
And then I'm hoping that we get a new like regional form because it says like in the Pokédex that it's not originally from Hoenn.
yeah.
I really like this guy. I
Honestly,
love
like
him.
Crawdon, Corfish is he's a cute little derpy crawdad, and that's about it. I always liked him for that. I'd give him like a 6. But Crawdon, once when I was little and I learned about Crawdon, it was just like, man, that's a cool Pokemon. It's
Yeah.
just so cool looking, and it's just badass.
That's kind of like how feel. Like I think Corphish is just kind of like goofy. Like he's just kind of like dorky. I never really like Corphish too much. It's a 6 for me too. But for Crawdon, I would give it like a 9.5 because I really, really like it and I really like using it. It's such a cool Pokemon. And honestly, uh, personally, like I know like a lot of people don't really like the colorations that they gave uh their 3D models, but I personally like the red more than the orange with Crawdon. Then yeah, I just
Same.
think the red looks better. What did you give Crawdon again?
Oh, I think it was like an 8.
8? Alright.
Yeah,
Uh
huge fan of.
Clay Claydol and Boltoy. I just think they're kind of cool. Like I just feel like they're just mysterious and kind of like you don't really know too much about them, and I kind of like that element. They just seem very mystical.
Yeah. I do like how kind of like alienish they are. Um, that makes them interesting. But
Yeah, that's
other than
kind of like
that,
my
I don't
idea.
too much I love about them.
They just seem like very like you don't know too much about them, and they're very ancient feeling, and I kind of like
Yeah,
it for that.
yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
I would give them like a good like 7.5.
Mm-hmm. I'd give them also like a 7, I think.
Okay. Ooh, Cradily and Armaldo. I really like these fossils. I don't. Here's the thing. For fossil Pokemon, I feel like my favorite fossil Pokemons will always be Kanto. I just really like Aerodactyl and uh Kabutops. They're very simple Pokemon, but they're so cool looking because they're so simplified and they don't need anything special
Yeah,
to look cool. With Cradily and Armaldo, I'm going to put them in the same category because for me, they both feel like they kind of feel like uh in a same like I feel like them in the same way in language. I really like Cradily being like a grass rock type. I think grass rock types are really cool, and I like that it has a fake eye. Have you ever like realized like the yellow like circles? They're not the
yeah,
actual eye. The actual eye is like the little like
yeah,
glowing ball. Like I haven't realized that until like a while actually. Here's the thing, I never really like took a huge look into Cradily, and I just felt like okay, well like uh these are just the eyes, like the yellow things. And then I just realized that it has an eye, the yellow eye. And I really like Cradily. I think Cradily is one of my favorite fossil Pokemon. Like I love fossil Pokemon in general. I would give them both a 9 out of 10 because I just like fossil Pokemon. And then Armaldo, like the colorations is just so cool. I love the blue and yellow. I think just looks really good. And it's a bug type.
yeah. I like them a lot too. Um, I like. I think I like Armaldo better than Cradily, to be honest.
That's
But
fair.
um, I do like the fact that they chose an ancient plant rather than an ancient animal.
Animal. Yeah, that's one of the things I really like because we don't have uh any other like fossil Pokemon where it's not an animal, and I like that. Like that's something cool about Cradily. And personally, I just think they're both cool. Like they're just so both cool. And I like that they're like not really like typings that you would really expect. Like grass rock and like bug rock, you don't really see them too often.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, you see a
yeah. They're
good amount of
super
like
cool.
rock waters. You don't see like you see a good amount of rock steels or just pure rock types. You don't see like bug rock or grass rock that much. I also think
Yeah, that's true.
Anorith is
I
also
think
really cute.
Bug Rock is.
I like Anorith
Oh,
too.
Anorith is awesome. He's a little Anomalocaris.
Like he's just a little guy. He's a little guy. I love him.
Have you
And
ever seen
then
the meme where it's like, "What are you? I'm an anomalocaris. What do you do? I do my best."
and for
I
Leap,
always think of
I I don't know. Leap is just kind of like there. It just looks like a cup.
he kind of does.
He just looks like a cup, and that's always what I thought he looked like. He just looks like a cup.
Yeah.
So yeah, what would you rank all these guys together? Like Leap, I would give like a 6, and then uh the rest of the fossils, I would just give them a 9.
Yeah, I'd give Laleep I'd give Laleep a 5, Cradillia a 7, I think, Anorith an 8, and Armaldo a 7, I think.
All right, cool. And then Feebas, and here's the thing: Feebas and Melotic, they're a counterpart of Gyarados, but I think they work well because they're not just like some random like a second version of like, oh, it's weak Pokemon into a super cool dragon Pokemon. Instead, they're doing the ugly duckling route, where it's like, like how Gyarados goes, Magikarp goes up the waterfall to turn into a huge, powerful dragon. Instead, it's the ugly duck story where, like, if you get it when it turns max in beauty, it turns into a huge, mystical sea serpent, and I really like that element. I kind of wish that they gave
Yeah.
Milotic like a fairy typing or something, like some kind of secondary typing, because I feel like it could get the fairy typing realistically, and I think
It,
it needs a little bit more of something, because Milotic is actually pretty solid of a Pokemon to me. You can go.
yeah, I think Milotic should have gotten like Fairy or Psychic.
I could see Psychic, maybe. I don't know if Milotic gets too many Psychic moves though. I could be wrong.
Um, I'm not
The only
sure. I don't know if I don't know if it has many like psychic moves,
it doesn't
but
really have any.
it does kind of like read psychic in its appearance.
I could
Uh,
see it having
kind of
some
in
kind of psychic.
yeah,
Golduck
but
should have got
definitely
psychic though.
fairy, I think. What did
Golduck should have got psychic.
it should have. Honestly, what on earth did they do?
Well, because
Like
psychic was overpowered in Gen 1.
that's true. That is true.
Anyways, moving
Yeah, because
on.
freaking ghosted.
Yeah. I would give Milotic like a good 7 though.
Yeah, I'd give it. I always liked the way Feebas and Milotic were kind of like
Huh.
Magikarp and Gyarados, kind of
Yeah,
like a pair, and
I
so
think
I'd
it's a
also give them like an 8.
I think it was a cool idea to give Gyarados a counterpart where it's not the same exact thing. Like a different
Yeah,
story, like a different like lesson to learn,
yeah.
I guess.
Instead of being the weakling of the of like instead of being the weakling to like a powerful being, the it's
What's on the inside is
ugly
beautiful.
duckling. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Feebas is beautiful on the inside,
No,
although
it's
he does
not.
look traumatized.
But oh my gosh, Feebas is ugly, even though that's the point of it.
Mhm.
But yeah, cast form, eh?
As for I like the
The-
fact I okay, it's not good. I don't like to use it, but I do like the fact that it changes forms in weather. But I
It's a
am
cool
outraged,
idea.
like
It's
many
got
people, that there's no
yeah,
sandstorm.
yeah. I mean, it makes sense why there's no Stamstrom because it's a molecule, right?
It does make sense, but at the same time, it's like it
We
kind of
wish
would
it would have.
have. Yeah, it's like something you could hope for.
Yeah. Personally, to me, I just don't really care too much about Castform that much. It's just kind of like, it's just there. It's a
Yeah,
cool concept, but like, it's the same thing with Spinda. It didn't really work.
yeah, I agree.
Going to Kecleon, which is the last gimmick Pokemon, I believe. Honestly, eh. It's just eh. I think Hoenn probably has the worst gimmicks of any Pokemon region, probably. Like, they had
Yeah,
some
I
cool
think
ideas, but most of them is just eh.
yeah. I feel like if they took out some of the filler Pokemon like Roselia, I feel like Roselia's place could have been like good spot for a Kecleon evolution. Because honestly, I like Kecleon, but it just doesn't do much. It's
Yeah, it
like
doesn't do anything. Like, I actually think Kecleon is actually pretty strong. Oh, never mind, never mind. It's not strong at all. I don't know why, but I thought it had more attack.
yeah,
So yeah, I don't know. Kecleon is just kind of like and for there. It's just like a five for me. I don't think it's the worst thing out there. I just wish they did a little bit more with it. And also, real quickly, why is the shiny not the one from Mystery Dungeon though? Like the purple one. Like the
I don't
shiny
know,
for it,
right?
it just turns into a blue stripe. It just makes no sense. They already had it for Johto, so it doesn't make like the purple one was in the anime, so it just doesn't make any sense.
But
It just kind
yeah,
of that was just one of the stupid things. Like that's a missed opportunity.
it
Okay,
is.
but moving on from them, Shuppet and Banette. I actually really, really like Banette because it's one of the creepiest Pokemon to me. And I really like that they enhance the creepiness with the Mega. That's something I always, always liked. Like, as a kid, I never really liked Banette because I always thought it was just so creepy looking. And now I love that's creepy looking. I think
Yeah,
that's the strongest aspect of Bennett. The only problem for me is Bennett is absolutely garbage. Like you can't really use it that much because it's just so bad.
yeah, it's sad because it's such a cool and creepy looking design. I love that it's like its smile is like a zipper.
Zippo.
It's just it's not like something that would immediately be apparent to you to think of like designing something, but
Hmm.
it's so cool and it works so well.
I
And its
know.
mega is just top tier.
That's kind of like why I love the Mega because there's so much more zippers to it, and it just makes it more creepy that way. I think
Yeah,
here's the thing. As you were saying, like the zipper is such a small detail that you wouldn't think of initially, but adding that small detail makes it look so creepy and adds on to Pokemon.
yeah,
So yeah, I think personally Banette's one of my favorite design-wise of Ghosts Pokemon, but sadly it's just so bad. It's like so bad. So I would
for real.
give Banette like a good like 8, maybe 8.5.
Yeah, I'd give Bennett also an 8. Actually, you know what? I'd give it an 8.5. Well, no, I guess we're judging megas
Mm.
differently. I'd give it an 8. I like it.
I like Banette, but he's it's just not fun to use, which is why he's so low.
Yeah, it's sad.
Like I do think that using a Pokemon is important too. Like, there's obviously some aspects where it's like you can just like a Pokemon just to like it, whether it be the design or you think it's cute. But using a Pokemon is still important to me because I think if I don't have fun using a Pokemon, I won't use it as much, so I won't like it as much, you know?
Mhm.
Next up is
Yeah, I get.
Duskull and Dusclops. Personally, I'm glad that it got the Dusknoir evolution because I feel like while Dusclops is a good like a good design. I feel like it's just not finished.
Yeah, he also looks like a middle stage.
Yeah. He looks like a male
It's
stage.
kind of weird that it.
Like I've been looking through like as we were looking through a lot of these Pokemon, a lot of them just feel like they're not finished Pokemon. Like there was something that they need to be added.
Yeah.
But I just like how it looks. Like I like Duskull. I think Duskull looks really good. I think it looks really finished. But I don't really like
Hmm.
how unfinished Duskull looks or Dusclops look. It looks like it still
Yeah.
needs something to be going.
Yeah, I agree.
Like Dusknoir
They
looks
did do a
really,
good
really
job
good,
with
right?
Dusk. What's up?
Like Dusknoir looks really, really good. Like it looks so finished and looks good. But Dusclops, like
It looks
I don't know,
fantastic. It
I don't
looks
know what.
almost seamlessly like a third evolution.
Yeah,
Like most like evolutions that are added on a generation or two later usually look a little bit choppy and kind of like
out of
a
place.
little bit inconsistent in the design. But Dusk Noir is just like it's consistent the whole way through. Yeah.
Here's the thing: I feel like Dusknoir looks more like Duskull than it does look like Dusclops. So
Dusclops does look a little awkward.
yeah.
I think the main reason for that, it, at least to me, is the fact that Duskull he's like a little hollow. He's kind of hollow, and he's got that little orb inside that looks like
Mhm.
his eye, but it's actually like I think it's like the real Pokemon, like that's his soul or something.
Right.
Um, and then with Dusclops, it becomes flat, like the eye becomes flat, and it's just like a regular eye. But then
Hmm.
with Dusk Noir, I think it again
Go
becomes like
goes
the
hollow again.
ball inside. Yeah,
Yeah, I actually
which is
agree with
super
you about
cool.
that. That makes a lot of sense. A lot of sense. And also,
Hmm.
like with Duskull and Dusknoir, they kind of like share like the same colorations, kind of more than Duskull and Dusclops too.
That's true.
I think Dusclops is a fine Pokemon. I just think it's unfinished. I would give Duskull like a good 7, and then Dusclops a good like 6.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
And then Tropius, I like Tropius. Like it looks fine. Like I don't know. Like I just think it's like a fine Pokemon.
I think it's good. I think it's a good single stage Pokemon. I feel like a lot of people are kind of upset that it's a single stage,
Here's the
but
thing.
I like it.
Okay, hear me out. I don't think people are upset that it's a single stage. I think they're more upset that it's just so bad.
That too, yeah.
Because like,
Well, I think that's why they want an evolution.
yeah, that makes sense. Because here's the thing. It doesn't have a single stat above 100, which
Are
is
you
one of the biggest.
serious? Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
You want me to send you the stats for it real quickly?
Yeah, go ahead.
Here you go. This is the stats. It's just not that good.
Oh damn, he's almost there with HP.
Yeah.
That's upsetting.
So I think that's like the main reason why everyone wants to get an evolution. And that's fair.
Yeah.
Also, I would give it like a good like 6. But real quickly before we go to anything, why the heck is Chine Chow even a thing?
Right?
Like, who likes this Pokemon and who actually remembers it? Like, the only reason why anyone would remember it is because it was in the anime.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't see a actual purpose for this thing, and I don't even understand why Chingling was a thing. Chingling is even. Actually, I think Chingling is a better design, but there's no point for it.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, like, it's Chingling is a pre-evolution, right? It's Prevo.
Yeah, Chingling
Yeah,
looks better though.
it d- it does, but like
Why
they
was it
added
made?
Chime Chow,
Yeah, why
and it
Chime
was
Chop?
like, eh, and then they added Chingling. They should have just made
An
a
evolution.
regular evolution if they wanted to add anything. To be honest,
Like I know like everyone says like oh or like we were saying you don't want to add just an evolution randomly to a single stage, but I feel like Chinchou is the one like the one Pokemon that needs an evolution because what is Chinchou? Chinchou is the like definition of filler Pokemon. Like it's the most fillerest Pokemon that you can think of,
yeah,
or you can't think of because you won't think about it.
yeah, good point.
I don't think I ever even use this Pokemon ever, like ever, and never did I want to. Like there have been Pokemon where I don't really care for them, and I won't even like think about using them. Where I will still use them at least once. Like at least I used Spinda before in a battle. Who chooses Chow and uses it?
Yeah, for real.
I honestly would give Chow like a good like 1 out of 10 because like I just don't see it a point for it at all.
Yeah,
Like it doesn't maybe like a 2 out of 10 because it doesn't make me like mad about it. Like I'm not mad that it exists. Like I don't hate it. I just don't see a point for this Pokemon to ever exist.
yeah, I'd give it a 4 out of 10.
Fair, fair. And then we're going to Absol. Oh boy, we're almost done.
Ooh wee,
Absol.
Absol.
Absol, Absol, Absol. Honestly, I honestly think Absol's kind of overrated.
Hmm.
Like I think it's a fine design, but I just think it's overrated. Like I don't really like it that much. And also, why did the Mega just make made it more emo than it has to be?
Right. I did. It gets like little wing things, right?
Yeah, and then it
Yeah,
gets a
I do
it's
kind of like the wings, even
I
though it
like
doesn't make sense.
and then it gets like a little like weird like hair thing covering its eye, like a weird bang.
It does. It is kind of like My Chemical Romance, the Pokemon.
Yeah. Wait,
um,
here's the thing.
which like,
Everyone like
yeah,
a lot of people like Absol. What if I just put in a thumbnail like Absol's trash or something like that? Oh, here's the
you
thing. Like
might get
Gen 3 fans,
views.
yeah. Gen 3 fans are like the most like aggressive with their love of it. Like they will hate you if you even dislike a single Pokemon. Like when I was doing like a tier list of all the Pokemon, like everyone like got mad whenever they didn't have a Pokemon that I put low that they loved. Like Absol was low because I don't care about Absol.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then
honestly, I like Absol, but it's just like it's not enough for it to be like something super special.
yeah.
So I'd give it probably like a 6.
Like here's the thing. I think the only like cool part about Absol is like the sickle like horn, but it doesn't
Oh
work with
yeah,
me because I don't like the head of I don't like the little like weird hair bang for it. I think
yeah,
here's the thing. I think if they made like the hair different, it would have been better looking. And maybe like I don't know. I just eh. This is not for me, I guess. I would give it like a 5. I also don't understand why
respectable.
Why Not was a thing. I think why they just make Why Not
Because why
because it was
not?
Yeah, it was just like a why not? I think they just want to make a goofy Pokemon. That's it, and I respect that's fair. If it
I
was just
respect it literally because they added it just because why not?
yeah,
And so they named it that.
I think they just made it just because it's goofy, and I think it's fine.
But yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I I would just honestly since Wine is just so goofy, I would give it like a good uh give it a good like 6.
Yeah, I'd give him a 6 out of 10.
And then we're going to Snorunt and Glalie. I like how like I love Shiny Snorunt. Shiny Snorunt is actually so good. Like it looks so nice. Like they turned a cone into like
Oh
blue.
yeah, it is a good shiny.
And like Snow Run, like it shivers in like battle and everything. So like I don't think it was like naturally like an ice type. I think that's something that it was
That's
saying.
true.
Snow Run lives in a region having rainfall, more snow, finding money. I don't know. I just kind of like it, kind of like I just think Snow Run's pretty chill. Like I like the colors of it. Like I think like the black and then the orange and then the yellow. Like I just like the colorations. And honestly, looking at it, it kind of fits with Gladeely's like evolution. Because like Gladeely's like a hockey mask
Yeah,
and like Oni head, like an ogre. And I just like it.
yeah,
I think it looks cool. And I never really like noticed how similar like Glalie and Snow kind of looked without like looking them together. Like their like teeth look kind of like similar pretty well, and like their eye colors are the same. I never really noticed
yeah.
that
Both
fact.
their eye color and their true skin color, like
Yeah,
underneath the white for Glalie and underneath the
yellow.
blanket.
Yeah,
Yeah, the yellow for
I never
Snow.
no I never noticed it, but that's actually like really cool. That I
Yeah,
after
same.
looking at it, kind of, I just feel like Frostlass is kind of like out of place, you know?
A little bit. A little
Maybe
bit.
here's the thing: if they made like the here's the thing with Frostlass, I think they should have made the instead of making the skin purple, they should have made it like black.
Yeah, probably. Although I feel like that's like counterintuitive to Jinx. I feel like Jinx would get salty about that.
Okay, okay. That's not even close, but okay, yeah, whatever. Spiel, Celio, Walrein.
Honestly,
Honestly,
three of my favorites. I love these guys.
I feel like it's kind of like an awkward evolution, though. I'm not gonna lie.
No, 100%. I'm not super keen on Walrein, but I think Spiel is so cute and funny looking. Like, just he's literally just a sphere. And then I like Celio a lot.
Like, here's the thing: Celio
I'm fan.
and Spiel makes sense. I feel like with Walrein, it's kind of weird. I feel like Walrein should have shared like the colorations, like have the belly being yellow and like the blue polka dots or the or white polka dots. I don't really
Yeah,
like Walrein was always a Pokemon I never think of anyways. Like you always think of like Spiel because Spiel's everywhere, and you never really think of the other two. Honestly, I feel like Walrein is a missed opportunity. I feel like they should have like changed the colorations a little bit. Like make it slightly lighter blue, give it the belly and the polka dots, and I think that would make it look a lot better.
Yeah, I agree.
Honestly, the whole line I would just give like a 6 out of 10. I don't really care for too much.
I'd give the Spiel. I'd give Spiel a 7.5. I'd give Celio a 7.5, and Walreen a 6.
Fair, fair. And then Clam Pearl. Honestly, I kind of want more like uh Judo all to like in separately. I don't know why Clam Pearl evolved into Gorgeist and Hauntail. I feel like it's just a really, really weird evolution line.
It is
It
kind of strange.
it doesn't make sense for me at all. Like, why? Evolve into I'm so tempted. I'm just going to look why they evolve into it. Oh, okay, because it's a fish egg. Okay, okay, that makes a lot more sense then.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, that's what it said. That's what at least that's what Red says. I just looked right now.
Uh, that makes more sense. I can
Yeah,
appreciate that.
that's actually so cool. Then actually, if that's a fish egg, and like, okay, I can see it now. That's actually so cool now. Then I actually like it a lot more now. I actually like. I never really cared for Clamperl before. Now I actually like it more. I actually like it.
Respectable.
Single pearl. Wait, what? Well, like the Pokédex says, like it's like a pearl though. I don't know. Oh wait, wait. Why is Clamperl not a psychic type? Because it always talks about psychic types in its Pokédex entry. Like here's the thing. I never really understood the typing. Why they're all pure uh water types. Like I think Gourgeist should have been a
Yeah,
dark type. Not because here's the thing. Gourgeist is actually like if you look at the Pokédex, like it actually says like it's like pretty evil and really violent. And
yeah,
I love Hauntail. I think Hauntail is such a cool design. And like Hauntail shiny is super cool too. Like they make it a nice green. Let me show you real quickly.
yeah.
I I love Hauntail. Hauntail is so cool. Oops. This is shiny for Hauntail. I love Hauntail. Hauntail is such a cool design for
Um,
me.
you
They
know
should
what
have
I
made
just realized?
huh.
I was always like kind of. I always thought it was a little bit weird the fin on top of Huntail's head, but now I'm realizing that it's like half of a clamshell.
Oh really?
Yeah,
I never
I
really
think
thought
so.
oh, I guess so. I guess so. I could see that. I kind of wish that I gave Hauntail like a dragon typing or like some kind of like maybe electric or something. I love Hauntail. Hauntail's so cool. I wish they did
It
something
is
with
cool.
it.
Yeah,
Gourgeist
it
should have
would
been,
be. You know what would be really cool? It
huh?
would be really cool if Huntail and Gorbis got evolutions, because I feel like it could fit. Plus, then they could like add a second typing.
They
It would
could
make the
fit, but I don't know. I just feel like,
it would at least make the single typing a little less awkward.
yeah. I also just don't like always just adding new evolutions to Pokemon. You know,
That's a good point.
like I think
Yeah.
I think it's super cool that Annihilate exists. Like I like when they gave Pokemon that actually needs it and would actually make sense. But I don't want like
Mm,
every Pokemon that's non like any Pokemon that is a single stage get a new evolution just for an evolution. Because I think
yeah.
then because then I think it makes a Pokemon less special to me. Because then I'm
Yeah,
not,
fair enough.
because then I'm not thinking, oh, I want to use Huntail. Then I'm thinking, oh, I want to use the new evolution of Huntail.
That's a good point.
Also, there are evolutions with items, so I don't think there was ever an evolution with those type of Pokemon. But I think Huntail has a really cool design, and I like how like their tails kind of like reflect uh other Pokemon. Like Huntail kind of has like a Gourgeist's face, and like Gourgeist kind of has like, well, Gourgeist doesn't really have it.
Oh, I see that though. Well, Gorbis kind of has like a round shape, which Huntail does have though.
Yeah, but I feel
Huntail is
like
very it's got a very round.
yeah, but I just think like Gourgeist's tail isn't as it doesn't look as much as like Huntail's does.
Yeah.
I also just like love deep sea fish. Gorgas, I'm going to give it 5. Hauntail, I want to give it like a 5 or 10 or the an 8.5, and then Clamperl a good like 6.
I would give yeah, I'd give Clam Pearl 6, Huntail an 8, and Gorbis like a 6 as well.
All right. And I just feel like Gorgeist isn't like really well made too much. Like he's just like a little like pink sludge, like bloop.
Yeah,
Like with Hauntail, like you have all the lights and everything, and you like have the face and the fins, so it looks like there's a design. Also, the orange and blue, like we were talking about, really works really well. But yeah,
yeah, I agree. Yeah,
okay. I really like Relicanth, mainly because it's a Colligant or Quilligant, Relicanth.
yeah, Coelacanth
I don't know how you
or
would pronounce it.
Coelacanth. Yeah,
Coelacanth,
it's
yeah.
Coelacanth. Yeah.
I It's so cool because the like Coelacanth was like supposed to be like uh it was a Pokemon, not Pokemon, but an fish that was uh was thought to be extinct, and then like 80 years ago or so they were rediscovered deep down, and it's what Relican is supposed to be, and I like it just for that reason alone. Like that's the one reason why I like it so much.
Yeah, Coelacanths are just like it's a very cool creature, and so of course it would have a cool Pokemon.
And I think that's kind of like what Relican kind of makes it special, is the Coelacanth itself. And they kind of just treat
Yeah,
it kind of like that. Like it's kind of like like they kind of count as a fossil Pokemon all the time, even though it's not necessarily a fossil, you know?
yeah. It's not a fossil Pokemon, but it's like it's from the same age, and it's so like it's so ancient that it's literally become a living fossil.
It feels like a fossil Pokemon. I would give
Yeah,
Relicanth like a good like 7.5.
I'd give Relicanth a 7, I think. Yeah.
There. Love this is just pointless. Like Love this doesn't do anything. It's another
It
filler Pokemon. Like
really doesn't.
it doesn't even, you can't use it in a playthrough at all either. Cause
I thought it evolved into a Loma Loma for the
everyone
longest
did.
time and was just so yeah, everyone did. It's just so disappointing. It doesn't do, it doesn't do anything. I did see this one fan art of like if it had schooling like wishy-washy, and it
Huh?
had a really cool design and I really liked that.
Ooh, I would have to see
Uh
that, but like Like, honestly, like, what does Love This does? Like, it's decently fast, but everything else sucks about it. Like, it's decently fast, and then you have 40 special attack and 30 attack. You're super frail too, so you can't do anything at all. Like, the whole point of it is to give you like um the heart scales or whatever. But that just doesn't make any sense. What's the point of making this Pokemon if it only gives you an item? Like, it's just a pointless Pokemon. It's another filler Pokemon, and the design is just stupid too. It's just like a heart with an eye.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, just 1 out of 10. Like, there's just no point of it. There's just simply
Yeah,
no
I
point of
agree.
Love Disc. And then, you said you agree, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Love Disc is just a waste.
Two
And
out of
then,
10.
you know what we were talking about, Roselia? Love Disc is just Roselia, but way, way worse.
Because it didn't even get an upgrade.
Like,
It didn't do anything.
I don't even know why they needed. Okay, Bagon
Yeah.
and Sallyman's. So, personally, I'm I'm much more into Metagross than um Salamence. I don't really care too much about Salamence. Like, I just think Salamence it's like a dragon. That's pretty much it for me. Like, it's just a dragon. Like, it's cool, but it's just a dragon to me.
Yeah, it is just a dragon. Um, Honestly, yeah, that's accurate. It's cool because it's a dragon. It's just not fantastic.
It's pretty intimidating. Don't get me wrong. But I also kind of feel like it's kind of the colorations for me. I feel like the blue that they use, like the greenish blue, doesn't work that well. And the red's kind of weird looking too. I and it doesn't help that we already had Dragonite as a dragon flying for pseudo legendary.
Yeah, but Metagross, I mean, I always liked Gen 3 because it has two pseudo legendaries, which is
That's a
sick.
really cool thing that
Um,
it has.
yeah, and Metagross is just it's great. It's awesome.
I love Metagross, and it's not a dragon pseudo legendary, which makes it so much special. Here's the thing: as much as I like the pseudo legendaries, like Dragapult, like the new ones, I want a non-dragon pseudo legendary, unless it's like a bug dragon. Then I would be happy because I want a bug dragon. But Metagross is just so cool, and it has one of the best shinies of all time. It's silver and gold, and it looks so
Oh,
so good. Like, I love the
it's
shiny of
beautiful.
Metagross.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's just really nice looking. Like, it looks so strong. It's a weird, like, steel spider type Pokemon.
Yeah.
And I like how, like, it's kind of like
Oh, sorry.
I like how it's like kind of like a Bionicle where, like, it's just Beldums mashed together too.
Bionicle. Yeah, it is. It's several Beldums combined.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
And
Plus,
you
it
can,
just looks like it could just launch the meanest punch.
right?
Like just oh
And, like, when you look at it, you can see where the Beldums, like, put each other together because, like, they like extend their arms into it, which is so cool. I love Metagross. Metagross, like, I would put the Gen free star Pseudo Legendaries at the top because I love Metagross. Metagross is so cool.
yeah.
Metagross is just so cool. And it has the best
I'd
shiny out
give
of any Pseudo Legendary too.
yeah. I think I'd give Salamence a I'd give it a 7 out of 10 and Metagross a 9.
Honestly, same. Pretty much the same for me. If it's shiny Metagross, I think I would give it a 10 just because the shiny's like one of the best shinies they made.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Also, uh, Mega Metagross is super fun to use. It's so strong too.
Yeah, Mega I forgot about Mega Metagross. Yeah,
He's just so good.
yeah. It's amazing.
All right, now we're going to the legendary trio with Regis. Honestly, I would put the Regis as
Mm,
at the bottom of the like legendary like trios, like usually we have the box trios and then the like lesser trios of like Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, or Raikou, Entei, Suicune. Regis, I don't really care for them. I just don't really care for them. Also, first two legendaries for me, it would be Hoenn, Johto, Kanto for now. But yeah, Regis, they're just kind of
I'm a
mid. Regis
Regis.
are just
I
like
I really like I like them because of their backstories and also their theme. I like the
Mhm.
way they go Ice Age to Stone Age to Bronze Age.
And
Or
then
yeah,
with like the new Regis, it's like I think it's like Middle Ages and then Modern Age. Like that's a
yeah, I
cool
think so.
element. I don't like Dragon though. I don't like the Dragon thing because like with Regirock, Regice, Registeel, they're all like materials. Electricity,
Yeah,
I can that's kind of like a pass for me. At least like I can see it. How do you make Dragon?
yeah, I think it is a bit of a stretch for electricity, to be honest. And Dragon is weird because it's organic instead of,
Yeah.
like an
Yeah.
object that was given life.
Like
But
I can kind of like see like maybe like a flying Reggie where you make it out of clouds maybe, or I can still see like electric, like at least like you can at least count electric, like at least it's like a thing, like it's not like
yeah,
a living thing. Like bug Reggie would make no sense. A fairy Reggie wouldn't make any sense. Dragon doesn't make sense. Electric can make sense,
yeah,
but also something that I don't like is like Regigigas has like all of the like Reggie's elements into it. Now that you made more, you can't put you can't pre-make the Reggies into there, you know?
yeah, that's true.
But yeah. So anyways, with the regular Reggies, I don't know, they're just like clumps of ice, clumps of rock, and clumps of steel. Like you said, I do like their backstories and how they're like made and everything, but I just think eh. They're just they're just sixes for me. Like they're fine.
Yeah, I'd give them a 7, I think.
Okay. Latios and Latias.
Moving up.
I know a lot of people like tend to like make fun of like Pokemon where like they're pretty much similars, but honestly I'm fine with Latios and Latias because they were made to be like counterparts, right?
Yeah,
But their megas are stupid because it's literally the same thing. Like the megas are literally like the same exact thing. I don't know why they gave them megas if they're going to be the same exact thing. There's no difference at all.
yeah, that is kind of unfortunate.
But they're supposed to be like jets, I believe, right?
They are Jets. Yeah, which
Okay.
is sick. I love Latios for that. Also, I like their shinies.
Other shinies are pretty good too. Like, I think Latios is like golden, and then Latios is like greenish. They have good shinies.
Yeah,
I I personally never really been a huge fan of the Latiosios. I just never been a huge fan. But I do
yeah.
think they're
I
fine.
like them personally.
I just think they're like there. They're just there as legendaries. I personally never really I don't like legendaries too much anyways. Because like I don't like using them because
Yeah.
it just feels like cheating.
Yeah, I don't usually use them for like playthrough. Well, I usually use one. I like to use one.
I never use any legendaries for playthroughs pretty much. I
Interesting. All right.
I would give them a 6 just because I think they're fine designed. I just don't really care for legendaries.
Right.
Unless they're like really cool looking. Like for example, my favorite legendary Groudon. But we'll get to it after Kyogre.
Mm, yeah.
Kyogre. Honestly, okay, I love how ancient like these guys look. Like Groudon, Kyogre, and Rayquaza, they all look so important and ancient. I love the little like circle and the little like marks. Like they just look so ancient and important because of that. Like they're so small, they're small details, but they work so well to make them all look super ancient and super, super important. Like realistically, Kyogre is just a giant whale, but the markings on them just make them look so cool. Like the little red markings all over it. It just looks so good. Really, really solid.
Yeah.
And then like with Groudon, I love the red and Primal Groudon is the coolest ever made legendary ever. I love Primal Groudon. Primal Groudon is just so cool looking. And like
Yeah.
Groudon
I
is
agree.
so I just love Groudon. Groudon's awesome. Plus, it's a ground type, and ground types are one of my favorite typings of all time. And Rayquaza, he's just cool looking. Like he's just like he's just cool. Like they just look ancient and super cool for that reason.
Yeah.
You can go ahead now.
So I agree with the whole ancient vibe. I like the markings with the all the circles and lines and the way it's consistent throughout all of them. And
Mhm.
man, just Omega and like Omega Groudon, Alpha Kyogre, and Mega what's called
Rayquaza.
Rayquaza. They're just like they are some of the coolest like glow ups ever. Like two, three pretty cool Pokemon
Like
to
they were
begin with.
already really cool looking, and then the primals and megas just make them look even cooler.
Yeah,
Yeah. You can keep
yeah,
going. Sorry.
they're sick. No, honestly, that was just all I have to say. They're
Fair
just
enough.
all
Fair enough.
super sick.
Also, one more thing about Mega Groudon, I love how like the lava is just covering its eye and everything. That's a really nice touch. I feel like
Yeah,
out of like all the new forms, I feel like Kyogre kind of got like the worst end of the stick because I still think it looks cool. I just feel like it didn't
yeah,
change too much.
I totally agree. Out of the three of them, I think Kyogre looks dope, but it's not the coolest.
Right. Like I think Kyogre is cool too, but I think it's my least favorite too. Like for me, it would be
Yeah,
Groudon, Rayquaza, Kyogre.
yeah. For me, I think it's probably the same.
Okay. So for Kyogre, I would give it an 8, and then the other two a 9. And then for if we're talking about Primal Groudon, 9.5. It's just so cool. Also, Oh my god, shiny Primal Groudon is so good.
Dude, it's black, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's black. Like real quickly, like honestly, it's just a good shiny.
Oh, it's fantastic. Wait, are all of them black?
They're all black.
I feel like is Kyogre also black?
Primal Groudon, yeah,
I don't
Primal
think I've
Groudon.
realized that before. Yeah, that's amazing.
It just looks so good. It just looks so good. All right, and then we have two more left. Two more left, and then we're almost done.
We
She's 3 hours long.
damn.
Jirachi.
Yeah,
I I don't really care
Jirachi.
about Jirachi. I
I
just don't care.
yeah, I don't really get it too much. I don't really get the steel type, to be honest. I feel like that was my biggest
Yeah. I mean,
confu
it's supposed to be a
like
shooting star.
my biggest point of confusion. It is, yeah, which I guess, yeah. I do
Like I
like how
get,
it grants wishes, and
yeah. Like I get the
yeah,
psychic type because most like alien Pokemon are psychic,
right.
but I don't get it.
Um, I think the coolest point was when Jirachi revived Groudon in that one Pokemon movie, and
I don't
Groudon
remember
was
that
like
movie.
a zombie.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
remember that movie though. That was a while since I watched
I
it.
don't remember the name of it, but like Groudon comes back. Someone wishes for Groudon to be back. It was like Team Magma or something,
Hmm.
and he uh like Groudon comes back as a zombie, and it's
Yeah,
crazy.
I do think I think the reasoning why it's steel type though is like a comment, and like usually like comments are made out of like iron. I think.
Yeah, I think yeah. I guess I can appreciate that.
I think like having like little small details are cool. And now probably like probably one of my like second, maybe like my second, maybe one of like I don't know. One of my favorite legendaries is like the Deoxys. I know it's mythical, but I'm counting them all the same. And we have different forms
Yeah,
of them. And I think that's a really cool thing. Like focusing on one specific stat is so cool.
yeah. Not only like does it focus on one specific stat, but it also looks dope in all of its forms.
Right? Like you have like, and they actually look like they would be more like stronger. Like base Deoxys like looks like it can do like it's just there. Like
A,
Deoxys base
a
Deoxys
little bit
is
of
really
everything.
cool. It's just there. It's the base form. And an attack Deoxys they make it more angular and like more like makes it look like it's more like stronger in a way. Like it makes it more angular, like
Yeah,
the head is
sharper.
more spiky, the the little tentacles are more spiky. Uh it looks more muscular in a way from base Deoxys.
Yeah,
Uh defense form Deoxys is just like he's just chunky, he's buffed up and everything. And then speed form, like they made everything looks more slim. He lost one of its tentacles, like he just looks more
yeah.
speedy, and I
It
like
looks
that.
sleek
Yeah,
and streamlined. Plus, I
very very
like the
slow.
fact that they use black for most of it.
But yeah, it just looks so good. I just love Deoxys. Deoxys is so cool. Like it looks super powerful and looks actual like alien like too.
Yeah,
I would give Deoxys personally like a good 9.
yeah.
Also,
I'd
it is
give the Oxygen 9 as well.
yeah. Also it is the DNA Pokemon, and you can see like with its tentacle, it's wrapped around like DNA, obviously.
Yeah, the double helix.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it still keeps
for
the
sure.
colorations of orange and blue
And
with all of
blue,
its
yeah.
forms. which is nice.
which again, Gen 3 is just they're doing great on their orange and blues.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I think Gen 3 has some really good Pokemon. Like a lot of their really good ones are really good, but a lot of their again, like all of the bad ones are like really like either a lot of them are really like bland and boring, or they're just really bad and forgettable.
Yeah.
Where would you rank it between Gen 1, 2, and 3 so far?
I think, like I said at the start, it's Gen 3 is my favorite generation. I think that's at the top, then Gen 1, then Gen 2. How about you?
Here's the thing. I think I don't have too many favorites from here that I do in the others. Like I love Zangoose, Crawdon's awesome. I love Torkoal, but that's like all I can think of it are like my favorites. I feel like I have more favorites from the other regions. Like I love Houndoom, I love Entei, I love Scizor, I love Heracross, I love Crobat, Ligar, Wooper, etc., Crobat. And then I love Aerodactyl, Kabutops, I love Scyther, I like Pinsir, Gyarados, Alakazam, Gengar, all those guys. So I feel like I would have to put probably Gen 2, 1, 3, but they're all really, really good. They're all really good. Okay?
Yeah, for sure.
Just based off of Pokemon that I love. So yeah. Anyways, I think that's all. So the next one video that we'll make is going to be Gen 4. I don't know when we'll make it. Whenever we're both free, we'll make it eventually. We're not doing it tomorrow because oof. So yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
Hmm.
have any last
Yeah.
statements, Pottermold?
Thanks for having me. It was a lot
Of
of fun.
course. Yeah. 8 or not 8 hours, 3 hours in total. Let's go. Anyways, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Let's go.
Let's go.